Let's have a look at the power that the camera holds when it comes to capturing the unbelievable. From a giraffe eating bones and cows with holes to a turtle teasing a lion and the masters of disguise. We have for you times when a camera was at hand at the right moment. A deer surprise. Talking about cameras capturing the very right moment, this deer thought it should contribute something too. The girl is actually a blogger, and she was trying not to disturb the deer near. She was hiding from them, not knowing that one was right behind her waiting to give her a surprise. Before moving any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. A camouflage master. Yes, we're talking about the octopus, also known as the camouflage master. And this clip will show how unbelievable their skill to disguise is. I mean, it wasn't even there a second ago. How did that happen? And to make this more interesting, you should know that the octopus is actually colorblind too. So how did it even do that? How could it blend so perfectly with something it can't even see properly? These are some questions which have forever remained unanswered, and the octopus remains as one of the unsolved mysteries of the ocean. Weird sea creatures. A few years ago, there was a video that became really popular online. It showed a strange sea creature that some people had caught and filmed. A lot of folks believe it's the real deal and pretty creepy too. The creature looks a bit like a sea hare, but with some serious sharp teeth inside its mouth. Honestly, I don't know what it was up to, but it definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies. An open grave. While paying a visit to his loved ones in the cemetery, a guy stumbled upon something peculiar. He noticed a grave that was partially open and seemed like it was being destroyed. As he went closer, he was taken aback to see the remains of a body buried there, including a tall skeleton that was around 1.8 meters tall. But that wasn't all. There were other skulls and bones inside the grave, which hinted at some sort of witchcraft. However, nothing was ever really explained or cleared up. A mountain witch. This video features a man named Hassan, who is an explorer of witches. He voluntarily searches for witches, and in this particular video, he visits a witch mountain to find one. To his surprise, he actually spots a witch dressed in black clothes and holding a stick, which seems to be made from an animal skull. Initially, she was sitting at the cave entrance, but when she saw the YouTuber, she went inside and started mumbling some spells. Suddenly, a stone hit Hassan's face, which was a signal for him to back off as the witch didn't want to be disturbed.
The enigmatic bush encounter. During a moonless night, two daring adventurers found themselves venturing deep into the heart of darkness. Soon they stumbled upon an eerie spectacle hidden amidst the bushes. Glowing eyes pierced through the darkness, casting a spooky glow. As they held their breaths, an unsettling feeling washed over them. But that was only the beginning, for soon after, something mysterious emerged from behind the foliage. Glooms seemed to dance in the gloom, and their hearts raced as they tried to decipher the mystery that lay before them. Mysterious skies. On a spooky New Year's Eve, South Korea witnessed a bewildering sight. Skies lit up mysteriously. Panic ensued as people feared a UFO or some malevolent creature hovering above. However, the truth revealed by the South Korean military was a tad less spooky. Just a solid-fueled rocket test. Phew, what a relief! The skies may have been ablaze, but fear turned into relief with this explanation. The eerie glow that lit up the sky that night had everyone on edge, wondering if they were witnessing an extraterrestrial event. Selfie-obsessed bear. In the wild, a trail camera caught an unexpected star, a bear with a flair for selfies. That camera became his impromptu photo shoot spot as he posed from every angle imaginable. The bear's photo shoot spree ended, leaving the camera bewildered but perhaps a little flattered. This bizarre encounter proved that even in the animal kingdom, there are selfie enthusiasts. The sight of a bear striking a pose was both comical and eerie, and showed us the animal's intelligence and fascination with technology.
Disappearance. This unsettling video was captured by CCTV in the back of an apartment block. We came across this one by accident, and we're curious about what you guys would think about it. Two pals are walking while the video is playing. One of them mysteriously vanishes. As we replay it, it appears as though he was swept into thin air by a beam of light. Initially, we thought it was strange, but the way his friend flees nearly makes it seem sincere. Just let us know your thoughts on this video, if you have any. Another spooky video that was recorded recently is based on the disappearance of a human. A year ago, the clip appeared to be taking place in an industrial area or a junkyard. In the video, a spectral apparition can be seen floating from your screen's left side. The dogs can be seen getting up from their bed or another pile and approaching the area to investigate. The floating item is the target of their barking and wailing. But what exactly is this? The dogs are undoubtedly startled by the floating entity, and the end of the clip is even creepier as our footage zooms in so we can have a better look. Ghost sighting in forest. Uncut trail camera footage of this bizarre incident was posted on YouTube on December 19th, 2022 by the Homesteading Off the Grid channel. A very terrible sight was captured on one of the landowner's trail cameras in this video. Because he owns a lot of forest land and enjoys hunting, the owner set up numerous cameras in the area to record what kinds of animals wander in his forest. But this time, he didn't get a typical animal. Instead, he caught something stranger and more unsettling. As you can see, the video shows an odd creature wandering through the bushes while wearing a robe. Uncertainty surrounds, as it is not clear whether this is merely a human wearing a lengthy white robe or a supernatural entity. We believe it to be a man dressed in a robe, but why would an unusual man wander the jungle? And what would he do there exactly? He nearly appears to be lost. There isn't much more information available about this video, so please comment below and let us know what you think. Humanoid creature. A family that recently relocated to this region set up a trail camera to keep an eye on their children and record any wildlife or bird visitors. They examined the camera one day in August 2020 and found this strange shot. One of their trail cameras captured a humanoid-shaped object. They were unsure about how to interpret it, but it appears to be a long-haired, unkempt figure. Do you think a Yeti or Bigfoot might be responsible? We figured we'd tell you all about it and see what you guys thought. Therefore, the first action was taken by authorities after receiving this video that seems fresh and original. Numerous experts and scientists then contacted them to express their opinions on whether they believed it to be true or not. Is it conceivable that this is a real Sasquatch, as several researchers have claimed that this image of one is fresh and authentic? A mysterious creature's hand. This terrifying trail camera film was recorded in Canada's dense forest. The camera's owners did not anticipate seeing anything like this when they set it up in a specific hunting spot in the woods close to their home. As you can see from the footage, a big hand that appears from behind the trail camera and tries to grab it is definitely out of the ordinary. Because of its enormous fingers and hairy arms, it almost looks like an alien. People immediately pointed out that they believe it might be a curious Sasquatch or perhaps a werewolf that is trying to hide its tracks. The fact that it knew to approach the camera from behind is genuinely scary. It's unclear what the tape actually shows, but perhaps that is for the best. Sometimes we are lucky if we don't know what bizarre creatures are truly hiding in the deepest parts of the woods.
Late night bear snack. In this video, a bear tries to snack on chickens and gets spooked by the owner's shouts. One night, a bear decided to pay a visit to a chicken coop, hoping for a tasty treat. It tried to get in, but the door held strong. Undeterred, the hungry bear attempted to munch on the door itself. Little did it know that the owner, Haley, had woken up to the condition. Startled, she bravely shouted at the bear from a safe distance, scaring it away. The bear fled into the night, leaving the chickens unharmed. Haley's quick thinking and courageous response saved her feathery friends and kept the bear at bay. A wild adventure in the wee hours. The crawling creature. In this short and blurry video, a strange creature is seen crawling on the ground in broad daylight. It's quite unbelievable if you don't see it for yourself. The kids who recorded this were wise enough to keep a safe distance from it. Some believe that this creature could be a skinwalker, a mythical being from Native American folklore, known for its ability to transform into different animals. It's a mysterious and eerie sight, leaving viewers with many questions and theories. If you have any thoughts on what this creature might be, please feel free to share them in the comment section below. Ghost-like figure. In this unsettling video on YouTube, a landowner's trail camera captured an unusual incident on December 19, 2022. The landowner, who owns vast forested land and enjoys hunting, had set up several cameras to record wildlife activity. However, this time, something bizarre was recorded. The footage shows a mysterious figure wearing a long white robe wandering through the bushes. It's unclear whether it's a human in a peculiar outfit or a supernatural entity. Though it appears to be a person, the question remains, why was the strange individual wandering in the woods seemingly lost? Spooky trail camera discoveries. A family that recently moved to a new region set up a trail camera near their home to monitor their kids and observe wildlife. To their surprise, in August of 2020, the camera captured a strange humanoid-shaped figure with long, unkempt hair. Speculations arose about whether it could be a Yeti or Bigfoot. The authorities were notified, and numerous experts examined the footage, with some claiming it to be authentic. In another eerie incident, a trail camera in Canada's dense forest caught a massive hand with hairy arms trying to grab the camera from behind. People suggested it might be a Sasquatch or a werewolf.
A sewer creature. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. Strange little beings. Now these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor, and if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either, so we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Buck in a wig. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. A creepy deer. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello. She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy. Alien in graveyard. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? A haunted tunnel. This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. Rake. A kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid.
A spy gorilla. Trail cameras mounted on trees recording animals is an old thing now. Spy cameras dressed and set as actual animals is the new thing now, and we see that in this video, which shows a spy gorilla camera in action. At first, the clan thought it to be weird and had to do a little inspection before they made the decision that the gorilla is no harm, so they'll let it stay. And that's when the camera recorded the beautiful moments of the gorilla family. A mutant calf. A farmer in North Macedonia was ecstatic as his cow was expected to deliver twins. But what actually happened left him in shock. Instead of 2 healthy calves, a mutant calf with 2 heads was born. The skulls were fused together, and it was unclear what caused this strange occurrence. Despite surviving for a few days, the vets believed they would not live much longer. But according to the latest news, the calf is still alive. Maybe it'll actually live just as long as usual calves do. A scary ghost. Let's check out this clip captured on a home security camera outside a house. You can hear faint footsteps before a blurry figure appears and moves across the screen. Since the video quality is poor, it's hard to make out any details. Is it a prowler, or could it be something paranormal? Upon closer inspection, the figure seems to briefly disappear when it reaches the center of the screen. This leaves us wondering if it's just a camera glitch, or if there's something more sinister going on. Two-headed cow. In 2015, a farmer named Dwight Cruz in Florida had an astonishing experience when his cow gave birth to a calf with 2 faces. The calf, named Annabelle, had 2 heads, 4 eyes, 2 ears, 2 mouths, and 2 noses. However, it also had 2 brains, which made it difficult for the calf to coordinate and feed from its mother. Consequently, the farm owner had to feed the poor baby with a bottle. Known as dicephalic parapagus, occurs when the embryo fails to split correctly during pregnancy and could be genetic. A strange monkey. Riding through the peaceful forest, a lone biker suddenly comes across a strange and mysterious creature. As a cyclist gets closer to a narrow trail surrounded by tall walls, a weird and otherworldly being jumps down from the wall and almost crashes into the biker. Surprised, the cyclist stops to look for the creature, but it has disappeared without a trace. Because of its strange look and incredible speed, it's hard to figure out exactly what this creature could be. Californian coast mermaid. In the video, we can see the mermaid swaying its tail in an impressive way. The tail movement confirms that it's a real mermaid and not a person wearing a mermaid tail, as no one can shake a fake tail that skillfully. The video is a bit blurry, but I believe it's genuine and not some edited nonsense people post on social media. There's plenty of evidence supporting the existence of this species, and I genuinely think they exist, but we humans still need to uncover their secret hiding spots. Saltwater crocodile. Alright folks, let's talk about one of the most rebel reptiles out there, the saltwater crocodile. This monster can grow up to a whopping 23 feet long and weigh over a ton. I mean, that's like having a car-sized croc swimming around in the water. And let's not forget those jaws. They're so strong they can literally crush bones and even metal. So if you're ever in the presence of a saltwater croc, just remember to keep your distance and give them the respect they deserve. Box jellyfish. Now let's talk about this deadliest but the prettiest creature ever. It is the box jellyfish. Now, don't be fooled by its delicate and almost see-through appearance. This thing is a silent killer. Its venom is so potent that it can cause heart failure and kill you in just a few minutes. So if you're ever out there in the ocean and spot a box jellyfish, swim the other way as fast as you can. Trust me, you don't want to mess with this deadly beauty. Hammerhead shark. The hammerhead shark has a head that looks like it was flattened with a hammer. But don't let their strange appearance fool you. These sharks are top predators in the ocean. They can sense prey with incredible accuracy, and their powerful jaws make short work of their meals. While they're not known for attacking humans, it's probably best to give them a wide berth just in case. Hippopotamus. The African river holds many secrets, but perhaps the most dangerous one lurks just beneath the surface. Beware the hippopotamus, for they may appear docile, but they are anything but. With a single snap of their powerful jaws, they can shatter bones and end lives in an instant. These massive beasts are responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any other large animal. Yet they remain shrouded in mystery. How can something so seemingly gentle be so deadly? Perhaps it is their ancient lineage, tracing back to a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Or maybe it is simply their fierce determination to protect their territory at all costs. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: never underestimate the deadly nature of a hippopotamus. Pufferfish. Oh, the pufferfish. This little guy might look cute and harmless, but don't let its innocent appearance fool you. This fish is the Chuck Norris of the sea. It's a total spark plug. In some countries, it's even considered a delicacy. But let me tell you, it's not for the faint of heart. See, the pufferfish has organs that are filled with toxins that can take you down faster than a shot of tequila. One wrong move and you can end up paralyzed, or even worse, dead. So if you're ever offered a bite of a pufferfish, make sure it's been prepared by a trained professional. Trust me, your life is worth more than a fancy meal.
Electrocuted leopard. In the heart of India, a shocking scene unfolded. A leopard hung lifelessly from a tall electric pole. Villagers gathered around, puzzled and disturbed by this horrifying sight. The tragic and mysterious fate of the leopard raised questions about how it ended up in such a dire situation. There were only speculations, but the true answer remained unknown, leaving behind a haunting tale of the wilderness. The incident served as a reminder of the sometimes dangerous coexistence of humans and wild animals, raising awareness about the importance of conservation and responsible wildlife management. Bigfoot family. As you delve into this trail camera owner's extraordinary encounter, the photo's puzzling contents send chills down your spine. There it is, the hazy shape of a large, hairy creature navigating the forest, accompanied by a smaller humanoid figure, possibly its child. The debate over the existence of Bigfoot and its nature reignites, but what confuses everyone further are two more black figures lurking in the distance. Could there be more of these beings hiding among the shadows? The authenticity of the image remains unknown, but its enigma adds fuel to the endless discussion surrounding the mythic creatures. Brave calf and the wolf. In a heart-stopping moment, a calf's life hung in the balance as it faced a fierce battle with a cunning wolf. Its mother bravely fought to protect her young from the predator's grasp, demonstrating the fierce determination of motherly love in the animal kingdom. The struggle for survival unfolded before the viewers, leaving them in awe of the untamed forces of nature. The brave calf's fight for life and the mother's fierce defense of her offspring shows what it takes to survive in the wilderness. The tentacles of the deep. During a fierce storm, a trail camera witnessed a sight both awe-inspiring and spine-chilling. Massive tentacles emerging from the water, evoking the mythical kraken of legend. The vast ocean depths hold untold secrets, and this glimpse of colossal sea creatures leaves viewers wondering maritime myths and legends. The existence of such behemoths challenges conventional knowledge about our oceans. Cameras offer brief glimpses of these creatures, leaving us with more questions than answers about the wonders hidden within our oceans. Snow beast's cryptic appearance. Amidst the snowy peaks, a group of tourists witnessed a mysterious figure lurking among the dense woods. Its size and walk evoke legends of the mythical Yeti, a creature etched in folklore and mystery. The sight of this mysterious being leaves the tourists awestruck and wondering the mysteries that the wilderness holds. Speculations arise and stories are shared around the campfire, each attempting to unknot the mysteries of the snow beast. What do you think it was?
A cult. This next video is seriously eerie. So imagine a car driving along a dark road at night, right? Suddenly, out of nowhere, a bunch of guys dressed like, guess who? Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, I know, weird, right? Anyway, what's even creepier is when they all stop to peek into the car. And then there's this mysterious light in the background. Oh, and there's this one guy wearing a mask too. 2 babies. So there's this cute bear cub named Boog, and guess what he finds in his living room? A baby deer is just chilling there. At first, Boog is kinda careful, slowly approaching the little deer. But the deer is like, nah, I'm not interested, and ignores Boog's attempts to be buddies. But you know what? Boog doesn't give up. He's patient and keeps trying until he finally wins her over. And then they have this adorable little encounter. Who says animals can't be friends, right? A bear. So you know how bears are usually all fluffy and adorable? Well, let me tell you, don't invade their personal space, my friend. They can get pretty feisty. In this video, we've got a little bear who stumbled upon a trail camera. And boy, oh boy, he wasn't having any of it. He went crazy shaking and wiggling that camera until it broke. I mean, it's hilarious to watch, but I kind of feel sorry for the poor camera. Vanished baby. So picture this, a baby girl sitting in her crib minding her own business. And then, out of nowhere in just 2 seconds, a hand comes in and snatches the baby away. Vanished, just like that. It's super creepy, especially when you slow down the video. All you can see is this scary-looking hand slipping through the crib's back and grabbing the baby. Some people might think it's fake, but if you look closely, there's no visible editing. A brave cat. Check out this funny video where a cat saves a little boy from a dog who's trying to play rough. The dog grabs the boy's leg, but the clever cat kicks the dog hard. Then the boy's mom rushes in to help while the fearless cat scares the dog away. It just goes to show that cats can be protectors too, and dogs aren't always the only ones looking out for us. Caught in the act. This not-so-smart thief thought he could take a trail camera from the woods, but guess what? It was securely attached to a tree. He pulled and tugged with all his might, but couldn't budge it. Eventually, he gave up and left the camera hanging upside down. Now he's become an internet sensation for all the wrong reasons. So, remember kids, crime doesn't pay, especially when you end up being the laughingstock of the internet. Witch performing fire ritual. Back in 1970, a German journalist named Ralph Olsen captured some really spooky footage while traveling in Africa. He stumbled upon a shaman in a rural area who was performing a magic ritual to connect with spirits. The witch lived in the hills and started by creating a ring of fire. As her followers chanted, she slowly levitated off the ground and then came back down. This happened multiple times. When the journalist shared the footage, people in the broadcasting community made fun of him, ruining his reputation. A yawning frog. In this short video, we are introduced to a tiny round rain frog. The little guy wakes up from his slumber, stretching out a big yawn. He then rubs his eyes and looks around, before finally squeezing himself into a tiny hole. The video provides a unique perspective into the world of rain frogs, and is sure to captivate and amaze viewers. A tree full of pollen. This clip shows a pine tree, which apparently was full of pollen, and the people cutting it did not know that, falls down, creating a big yellow cloud around the tree and covers the whole area in an instant. The sight of the pollen falling is both peaceful and mesmerizing. This scene captures the beauty and fragility of nature in a single moment. A giant snake around car. A recent video has captured a surprising and somewhat frightening scene. A giant snake wrapped around a car. The snake appears to be a constrictor, its powerful coils ensnaring the vehicle in a tight embrace. It is not only extremely long, but also quite strong, making it an imposing sight for those who come across it. While the sight of a snake wrapped around a car might be unsettling for some, it is a testament to the incredible abilities of these reptiles. A floating croc. In this short video clip, a crocodile is seen floating in the water in a zoo or something. The way the croc floats makes it look silly and lighthearted, and the clip is sure to bring a smile to the faces of viewers and provide a moment of humor and enjoyment. Many have even declared the croc their spirit animal. Beluga plays with a seagull. A captivating video clip recently surfaced on YouTube, showcasing the playful interaction between a beluga whale and a seagull. We can see a beluga swimming under the water while a seagull is there to get some food from the humans. Now, we might think that the beluga is after the food, but that is not the case. It is solely there to have a playful interaction with the bird, teasing it all the way. And the seagull isn't getting very offended with that either. because if it had, it would have flown away. To witness this kind of interaction is something very rare, and we're glad that the humans and their cameras were there to capture this adorable moment. A walrus doing sit-ups. A recent video has captured the impressive physical abilities of a walrus. The clip shows the walrus performing sit-ups with its trainers in captivity. The walrus is seen lying on its back, lifting its body up and down with ease and coordination. It isn't just training, it is also a very fun activity these animals enjoy doing. We also see its trainers encourage and guide the walrus through the exercise. The walrus's physical strength and flexibility are truly remarkable, showcasing the remarkable intelligence and training capabilities of these marine mammals. A lion and a dog. A heartwarming video clip went viral a few years back, showing a lion and a dog sharing a tender moment between two very different species of the animal world. The lion approaches the dog, gently kissing its paw, which the dog accepts happily. A few seconds later, the lion tries to kiss the dog's paw again, but this time the dog pulls it away, leading to playful interactions between the two animals. The clip captures the unexpected and adorable interaction between these two species and has been widely loved by viewers on the internet. A snail drinking water. This amazing clip provides us with a rare glimpse into the miniature world around us, showcasing a snail drinking from a single water droplet. The video offers a fascinating look into the beauty and wonder of the tiny creatures and the world they inhabit, giving us a new perspective on the world around us. A walking octopus. This clip shows an octopus not swimming like its usual self, or hiding like it had mastered the art. This one is different, as it is captured walking on the land. Or will he even call this walking? Well, whatever this octopus is doing, it's pretty creepy. I'm glad they live underwater, or I won't be able to handle this every other day. What do you guys think? A brave turtle. The video shows a lion and a lioness drinking from a water source, probably a river or a pond. As they drink, a little turtle approaches them, seemingly trying to chase them away from the water. In its attempt to shoo the big creatures away from his pond, the turtle even gets so close to the lion's mouth, maybe trying to bite its tongue. The lion gets a little offended, I guess, but there's not much it can do with the turtle, as this thing is neither a threat nor a prey. So the lion doesn't even know what to do with this annoying little thing. After many attempts, the turtle eventually succeeds in stopping the lion from drinking water from his home.
Moving on to this creepy video. It's like something straight out of a horror movie. Well, I can tell you that's what it felt like for those who witnessed it firsthand. So there's this deserted road with full darkness, and you can practically feel the loneliness. The footage is from a car passing by, and suddenly the driver totally freaked out. You can tell he's super uneasy and have this gut feeling that something bad is about to happen. And man, they're right. As you saw out of nowhere, this weird figure appears in the distance. It's all contorted and crawling on like some twisted creature. You can't really see what it is, but you just know it's not something you want to mess with. The driver's instincts kick in, screaming to get out of there. So, he started reversing the car, creating some distance between them and the freaky thing. But here's when it gets creepy. The camera zooms in on the creature, and it gives you the chills.
Car begins to retreat. The camera zooms in on the creature, revealing a humanoid shape with a white appearance.
It's got this human-like shape, but it's glowing in this eerie white light, almost like it's dancing in the dark. The way it moves is just so creepy. It's like a wild animal stalking its prey, but it's unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's like a total mystery. The driver is terrified, as his heart is racing like crazy, and he's doing everything he can to get away. But this thing just keeps coming, slow and steady, almost like taunting them. It's getting closer, revealing more of its thin body and this head that twists in this unnatural way, staring right into the camera. It's like it's looking right at you. People watching this video are freaking out. Some say it could be a skinwalker, this legendary creature from dark folklore. Others think it's something completely new, never seen before. It's got everyone wondering, you know? What can it be? How many of them are there in existence? We're all dying to find out. It's like a mystery we just can't resist.
Glowing eyes. Imagine you're out with friends on a drive late at night and you encounter this in the way. Well, this is what happened to these guys who were just having fun when not just one but two pairs of creepy glowing eyes started staring at them. Even though the creatures were far and the guys were in the car, that was not enough to make them any less scared. A creepy doll. Once a man was in the forest gathering some logs when he stumbled upon something peculiar. We're not exactly sure what was going through his mind, but he ended up picking up this eerie doll and taking it back to his home. To make matters even more bizarre, he even decided to record the doll while it was doing who knows what. If it were me, I wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. Not even in a million years. A mutated spider. If you think giant mutated spiders are only in the sci-fi movies, you think wrong, and this video will show you how. People in Ragasnika were shocked when one morning they saw this giant spider crawling across this hill. Luckily, it was far away from the population, so no one got harmed. But the most mysterious part is that the spider just vanished in a few minutes. Where did it go? No one knows. A scary smile. Let me give you some advice. If you're out late at night and see a tunnel on the way, it's better to turn your car around and drive as far away from the tunnel as possible, because if you don't, something like this might be waiting for you inside. This creature with the creepiest smile possible was waiting at the entrance, and whatever happened to the people, we'll never get to know because the video just ended there. An unknown insect. Okay, so what comes into your mind when you first see it? Me, being dumb, thought it was the grass walking, but it turns out to be some kind of insect, a very tiny one. Though the man who uploaded it didn't happen to have any kind of information about it, and the thing was just as unusual to him as it is to all of us. But let us know if you guys have any info on this one. A spooky creature. This hairless creature was discovered by a group of plantation workers. It had small ears, no tail, and a bald, brownish-gray body with sharp claws. The workers were frightened by its odd appearance and believed it was a supernatural entity coming to haunt them. They attacked the creature, but afterward, specialists in nature explained that it was an uncommon Malayan sun bear. The workers were rebuked for their harsh behavior, and the bear was relocated to its natural habitat in the woods.
Great white shark. You know what's scarier than a shark in a horror movie? A real-life great white shark. These bad boys can grow up to 20 feet long and have a bite force that can crush bones. And let's not forget about their famous razor-sharp teeth. One bite from these guys can be deadly. So the next time you're swimming in the ocean, remember to keep your eyes peeled for the great white shark, the ultimate predator of the sea. Redback spider. These pesky little creatures are found all over Australia, and their bite can be a real pain. Their venom is no joke. It can make you feel like your whole body's on fire. That's why it's important to keep an eye out for these sneaky spiders and make sure you're not their next victim. But here's the thing. As much as we may dislike them, redback spiders are actually pretty fascinating creatures. They're part of the widow spider family, and their females are notorious for eating their male counterparts after mating. Talk about a bad breakup. Tiger shark. Check out the tiger shark, a big bad predator of the ocean. These bad boys have been known to attack humans and are one of the most dangerous sharks out there. With their razor-sharp teeth and incredible hunting abilities, they're a force to be reckoned with. If you see one in the water, it's best to give them plenty of space and let them do their thing. Cape buffalo. Africa's version of the Hulk. These big boys can weigh up to a whopping 2,000 pounds, making them one of the biggest and baddest creatures out there. And here's the thing, they're not afraid to throw down. They've been known to take on lions and even humans, and let me tell you, you don't want to mess with them. That's why they're also known as the Black Death. So if you ever find yourself face to face with one of these beasts, just remember to give them plenty of space and respect. Gila monster. This little dude might look like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but trust me, it's 100% real and 100% not to be messed with. Why? Because it's one of the only venomous lizards out there. That's right, this sneaky little guy packs a bite that can cause some serious pain and swelling. But here's where things get mysterious. Nobody really knows why it's venomous. Is it for hunting? Self-defense? Who knows? All we do know is that if you ever come across a Gila monster, it's best to give it some space. After all, you don't want to end up on the receiving end of a venomous bite from this cool but dangerous lizard. Sydney funnel-web spider. Did you know that the Sydney funnel-web spider is basically the Australian funnel-web spider's BFF? And let me tell you, their venom is no joke. It can knock you out faster than a kangaroo bouncing on a trampoline. Plus, if you get bitten by one of these creepy crawlies, you could end up with respiratory failure or even die. So make sure you steer clear of these 8-legged critters if you happen to come across them. Safety first, folks. Lion and deer. Take a look at this unlikely pair taking a leisurely walk through the woods. It's a lion and a deer. Can you imagine? This trail cam clip is truly special, considering lions are notorious predators and rulers of the jungle. Yet here we witness a deer fearlessly following a lion, as if they're old chums or something. Who knows what really happens in the animal world? But one thing is certain. This video is guaranteed to brighten your day and put a smile on your face. A Sicilian. What you're seeing right here might look like a worm to you, but just look at its fang-type teeth and the whole head. This is not a worm, folks. It is called a Sicilian, and these are amphibians. Yep, just like frogs. They just lack arms and legs. But as they lack, their nature made them the only amphibians to have fangs. Fishing cat. Have you ever heard of a fishing cat? No, it's not a cat that likes to go fishing with a rod and reel. These adorable felines are the only ones in the world that specialize in catching fish. While other cats may nibble on a fish occasionally, these guys are pros at it. Found in South Asia, fishing cats are known for their unique hunting style. They dive face first into the water to ambush their prey. Turtle helps turtle. This video shows two turtles hanging out together, when suddenly one of them flips over and can't get back on its feet. But what happens next is truly heartwarming. The other turtle comes to the rescue and uses its head to push and help the struggling one roll back over. This behavior has been seen among turtles a lot of times. When one rolls over the other, one comes running to help. Chimp sweeps floor. This amazing chimp was seen sweeping the floor in his cage with a broom. It's incredible, right? According to his caretaker, the chimp learned this behavior by simply watching them sweep the floor. Apparently, she's usually the one cleaning up the enclosure, but this clever chimp decided to lend a hand. A friendly deer. This man was sitting in the woods minding his own business when this little guy decided to come up to him and give some company. What did he want in return? Just some scratches under his neck. That is all the payment needed for such nice company. And look at that cute face. Smart fish. Every time I hear about catfish, they're always doing something wild. Now in India, these slippery swimmers are taking to land and learning how to walk. Don't they have enough space in the vast ocean? Apparently not, as they venture onto land in search of grub. I don't know about you, but to me it's kind of freaky to see so many of them scurrying about. What a strange sight. Sloths. If you thought sloths were nothing but lazy critters, prepare to have your mind blown. Because it turns out they can move pretty darn fast when they want to. I mean, check out the footage of those little guys attacking those humans with lightning speed. Honestly, it's probably best to give them their space and let them do their sloth thing without disturbing them. Who knew these seemingly laid-back animals had such a surprising burst of energy in them?
Trapped deer rescued. In a remote forest, a helpless deer found itself entangled in a fence, screaming with exhaustion. Fortunately, a group of hikers stumbled upon the distressed animal. Despite their attempts to help, the deer remained frantic and agitated, posing a risk to those who tried to intervene. One of the hikers retrieved a clipper and carefully cut the wire to free the deer. Despite their untiring efforts, the fence still clung to the deer's leg, continuing to trap it. The compassionate hikers persisted, eventually granting the deer its freedom. Appalachian beast. A traveler remembered a weird experience during a trip to the Appalachian Mountains. While exploring the area, they observed a creature unlike anything they had ever seen. With large eyes, a big mouth, and a whitish face, the creature puzzled onlookers. Some speculated it to be an apple, while others offered suggestions ranging from a harbor seal to a ghost bird, or even a psyduck. The curious encounter left everyone wondering about the secrets the Appalachian Mountains held. Giant anaconda climbing a tree. The trail camera had been set up to observe wildlife in its natural habitat, but it captured something truly mesmerizing. An immense anaconda effortlessly scaling a towering tree with astonishing agility. The massive serpent's display of power and grace left viewers in awe. As the colossal anaconda defied gravity, its movements seemed almost otherworldly. Such encounters serve as powerful reminders of the vast biodiversity our planet hosts and the mysteries that remain waiting to be uncovered. Buffalo attack after the rescue. In Kruger National Park, a rescue operation to save a trapped buffalo took an unexpected turn. Park rangers pulled the buffalo from a mud pit, hoping to free it from drowning. However, the distressed buffalo became agitated and aggressively attacked the rescue team with their truck. The team managed to escape unharmed, but the buffalo's anger persisted, demonstrating the unpredictability of wild animals. It doesn't matter if you save them from death, they'd still attack in fear. Nature's quite scary, isn't it? Bandit orangutan. A tour guide in Borneo had a unique passion for his boat and touring business. However, an unexpected visitor, a mischievous orangutan, became fixated on the boat and decided to hijack it. The hilarious yet intense scene unfolded as the tour guide tried to defend his beloved boat from the persistent animal. Their playful tug-of-war with the boat's rope led to both comical and tense moments between humans and wildlife in the wilderness. Spying biped. Despite skepticism from some, alleged interference of a Bigfoot-like creature in the Idaho wilderness fueled the Bigfoot terror among online communities. Park rangers conducting routine surveys in a remote forest encountered strange eyes spying on them, hidden within the trees. Further investigation revealed a large, black, bipedal creature resembling the mythical Bigfoot. Speculation arose about its true identity, with some suggesting it was a bear, while others held on to the idea of a legendary creature lurking in the woods. Sleeping beast. A team of researchers achieved their dream of capturing a rare glimpse of a shy, legendary creature. A massive, hairy beast resting among the dense woods of Kentucky. The creature was believed to be a female Sasquatch, and the researchers claimed to have obtained DNA proof of its existence. The rare sighting became a subject of fascination and debate among believers and skeptics alike, highlighting the allure and mystery surrounding legendary creatures like Sasquatch. Extraterrestrial creature. A chilling 911 call reported a strange and giant creature in someone's backyard, prompting response from the authorities. As the police arrived, they found no trace of the creature, leaving everyone puzzled. The audio recording of the call became a topic of fascination and wonder, sparking debates about the existence of extraterrestrial creatures. The encounter served as a reminder that, even if one didn't believe in something, it didn't mean it wasn't real to those who experienced it.
A crawling creature. This video literally has everyone spooking out as they see a weird glowing creature in the middle of nowhere at night crawling on the ground. Some call it the rake, while others think it's just some unknown animal. But the ones who happened to record it said it looked similar to a human, but was not a human at all. So then what was it? I guess we'll never know. Bear versus mirror. Trail cameras usually capture animals chilling, hunting, and going along their normal life. But sometimes these cameras capture things out of the ordinary. For instance, this bear was just going along his way when he suddenly saw something he'd never seen before. His own reflection. And needless to say, we do not think he liked it a lot. A Bigfoot. Camera can be handy at times, but we need to be careful because sometimes trying to record dangerous things can lead to unfortunate circumstances. For instance, take the case of this man who tried to record a Bigfoot strolling along in the woods. Guess he was lucky or maybe hiding perfectly that the creature didn't notice him, or we wouldn't have been able to get this footage. Mysterious creature. A couple had been noticing weird noises in their backyard, but they'd never been able to know what was causing it, so they installed a camera there. It was all peaceful and quiet at first as nothing suspicious happened, but as some time passed, we saw a creepy head popping out of the fence. We see it once, then we see it twice. Was it just a dog, or was it something which had remained hidden from us since forever? A brave man. This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place.
Bobcat hunts deer. This deer hunter was surprised to spot another one in his backyard camera. A man from Pulaski County shares footage of the bobcat attacking a doe at night, but the thing which shocked him was the size of the cat, as it was way smaller than the doe. Sadly, not a video, but the man shares a series of pictures showing the incredible attack. Here is the deer on the ground, and that's when the ambush predator makes his first move. And at last, a strong bite on the neck, and here it is, the miserable end of the poor fawn. Striking and striking really hard. Here, see how it takes down the venomous rattlesnake with only its paws. Coyote and deer. An injured buck could be seen standing in front of the trail camera, and behind it, there were two small but extremely hungry coyotes waiting for the buck to pass out so they could enjoy their meal. And though awake, it feels like the buck has lost all his hopes for life, as it does not fight with the coyotes approaching it. But it does not always end with the coyotes winning the fight. Like here, when the mama deer realized that a bush wolf had been following her fawns. She stands in front of the camera, gathers her two fawns, and goes off into the forest. And then, after a few moments, the mama deer was seen again, this time running after the coyote and missing it with some inches to catch it. And later, she was caught circling around a bushy tree trying to catch the running coyote, though missed it, but yet saved her babies from the predator. Hyena chases wildebeest. Capturing the herd of wildebeest in the safari, the people were given a surprise by the coyote that came rushing towards them. Though the rest of them follow the rule, stick to the herd, one of them can be seen separating. And taking advantage, the predator started following it, even though taking it a little far. The coyote was still struggling to catch it. Playing the run and chase game for some time, they were both spotted again, but the wildebeest was caught fighting the predator off. But, tired of the chase, the animal met his fate at last. Running predator. Driving near an abandoned town, a man spotted this scary animal walking ahead of his car. Not recognizing it at first, he thought that he had spotted a creature straight from the other world because of its half-bushy body and the scary-looking figure in the dark. And it was when he flashed a light over it that the man realized it was not something creepy, but he had actually spotted a hyena that was looking horrid due to no light present in the area. And the creepy thing coming out of its mouth is the half of a body of a wild animal, most probably a deer, or perhaps a zebra.
A strange woman. In 2016, a strange video surfaced online showing a woman shopping at a mall. Suddenly, an item falls behind her, and she puts it back on the shelf. Then she starts acting weirdly, as if something is controlling her. She drops her shopping and writhes on the floor, screaming loudly. Her screams even push the onlookers away. As the man in black tries to hold her down, the woman calms down, but then lets out a final scream, which makes objects in the store move and the security camera flicker. A mystery light. This video was filmed by a guy from Mexico. Some people who have watched it are saying it's one of the most clear sightings of a UFO ever caught on camera. Against a totally dark sky, you can see a weird blue circle that looks like it's morphing into different shapes. Apparently, this man had this strange thing hovering over his house for about a half an hour before it vanished. What do you think it might be? A waterbender. Have you seen this video that's been going viral lately? It's really interesting. Nobody knows where it's from, but it seems to have been filmed in Africa. In the video, a group of people are gathered around a woman standing in the water, and it looks like some sort of ritual is taking place. But then something crazy happens. All of a sudden, the water recedes super fast, and the bay is completely dry where others are standing. People freaked out and said that the shaman caused the water to shift using some kind of divine power. But nothing was ever explained by anyone. A witch. A bizarre figure dressed in white was spotted standing directly under the window of a house where the mother and her baby had been only moments before. It appeared as though the figure knew where the family was located. The incident left the woman feeling shaken and terrified, with no logical explanation for what had just happened. Some say it was a witch, while others think it was something else. Still, it remains a mystery. A levitating creature. Whether it was an extraterrestrial being or simply an optical illusion, this video is fascinating to watch. A large group of individuals gathered to witness this bizarre creature, which appeared to be levitating in mid-air while wearing wings on its arms and feet. Although it resembled a mermaid or an alien, it actually looked more like a boy. However, the reality behind the levitation was not as mysterious as it seemed. In fact, it was just a simple trick involving thin strings that helped the individual hover in the air. A UFO. A pilot was on his usual routine, flying a plane from one city to another. But what he did not know was that he was about to come across a sight he had ever imagined, a UFO. Now, for those of you thinking it was just a balloon, those don't fly forwards, they go upwards. And also, balloons do not have this kind of speed. So, nope, that wasn't a balloon. To me, it totally looks like a UFO. Bigfoot. In this video, Rick Dyer, a self-proclaimed Bigfoot tracker, claimed to have killed the elusive creature. The video shows a tense moment where the massive beast attacks the man holding the camera. Afterwards, Dyer provides a few pictures, claiming they're of the Bigfoot he killed. So do you think it was really a Bigfoot that he killed, or was he just lying straight away? A cheetah. This clip features an American tourist who got an unexpected guest on a safari in Tanzania. Well, Britton Hayes from Seattle got a special visitor in the form of a cheetah who jumped right into the back seat of his vehicle. And if that wasn't wild enough, another cheetah decided to join in on the fun. Poor Hayes was frozen with fear, praying he wouldn't become dinner for the big cats. A clingy octopus. Imagine you're out scuba diving, and when you surface for air, you discover an octopus that won't let go of your back. In a recent video, a diver experienced this unexpected surprise and was trying everything he could to shake off the clingy cephalopod. Despite moving in different directions, the octopus wouldn't budge, and the diver started feeling uncomfortable with its sharp beak and sticky suckers. Perhaps the octopus just wanted a hug. What do you think? A ghost. As the driver was cruising down the Queensland Highway, little did he know that he was in for a surprise. As he continued driving, he spotted something unusual on the side of the road. To his shock, he and other onlookers saw a ghostly figure standing in the middle of the road. The ghost, which appeared to be a pure white child, was just a few inches above the ground. The eerie sighting quickly gained fame and was dubbed the Ghost Child by many. However, some skeptics argued that it might have been just a human baby who happened to wander in the middle of the road. A sea lion. Okay, so I've got a creepy story for you. A girl was taking a break near the harbor when, out of nowhere, a sea lion popped up, grabbed her, and dragged her into the water. Her family and bystanders freaked out, but luckily, a brave dude jumped in and rescued her. It was a shocking incident because sea lions usually don't attack people without a reason. The flashlight fish. The video showcases the mesmerizing flashlight fish, which are found in the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean. These unique creatures have special light-emitting organs located beneath their eyes that give them an otherworldly appearance. The lights can be used to attract prey or communicate with other fish. The video captures the fish swimming in schools, creating an incredible visual spectacle that looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Watching these underwater titans move and glow in the dark depths of the ocean is truly a sight to behold.
Dude, that is massive.
Explore these captivating trail cam moments, ranging from octopus encounters and strange nighttime sightings to eerie encounters and cryptid forest specters. The viral, unsettling videos that emerged overnight prompt contemplation about the mysteries of existence. Deer at night. In the quiet of the night, deep within the heart of the forest, a curious and graceful animal came up from the darkness. The forest was dark, but the moon's soft light filtered through the leaves, disclosing the mysterious visitor. This graceful being with eyes like stars moved quietly, each step a delicate formel on the forest floor. Little did it know, a quiet guard was observing. A trail camera, like a silent guard, captured the deer's every move. It stood still for a moment, its delicate figure lightened by the camera's flash. The image was like a secret between the forest and technology, a brief look into the life of this attractive forest inhabitant. The night continued, and the deer disappeared into the depths of the woods, leaving behind only a memory on the trail cam, a memory to be participated in, a story to be told, a moment to be loved in the peaceful beauty of the forest at night. Angry lioness. This video shows one of the most rare sightings ever captured on camera. In the beginning, we see a lion behind a huge rock, and suddenly it is attacked by a lioness whom it went close to. The lioness growls at him and attacks him with her claws. The lion looks terrified and tries to run away, but the mighty lioness does not let him run without clawing his face off. It is one of the most incredible sightings captured on camera. Imagine the king of the jungle being attacked by his own queen. It sounds hilarious and terrifying at the same time. What do you think about it? Wolves attacking the hare. In the bright daytime, a strange event happened on an empty field. A video showed two wolves chasing a little hare. The wolves were like hidden shadows, and their reasons were unclear. The hare, feeling danger, ran as fast as it could to stay safe. One wolf tried to grab the hare's tail, but the hare quickly changed direction, escaping its grasp. The chase continued, like a game of life and death under the sun. One wolf was eager to catch the hare, showing its sharp teeth and mean eyes. The hare surprised everyone by swiftly changing its path, avoiding capture. The wolves were relentless, like determined hunters. They tried to catch the hare with every jump and move, but the clever hare used zigzag moves to confuse them, like a secret dance with the wolves. As the chase went on, it became more mysterious. The hare's graceful escape mixed with the wolves' fierce chase created a suspenseful story. The sun watched, creating strange shadows and bright spots in this thrilling drama. In the end, the hare managed to escape, slipping away from the wolves' jaws. This mysterious video left us with a captivating and eerie image of a world where life and death played an enigmatic game in the wild. Cryptic paranormal nightmare. Late at night, a spooky video shows a dark room. A girl is sleeping on her bed, not knowing something strange is about to happen. Suddenly, the door opens by itself, making a creepy sound. The chair starts moving on its own, like it's dancing in a weird way. Then, a ball flies out of the cupboard without anyone touching it, breaking the normal rules. The room gets flashes of bright light, like thunder lighting it up. But the girl keeps sleeping, not aware of what's going on. Weird things continue. Her stuff falls everywhere, books make a mess, and a painting on the wall shakes. Everything changes in the room like a spooky wave passing through. The blanket that covered the girl is now on the floor. The door closes by itself, trapping the strange happenings inside. Even with all this chaos, the girl stays asleep like a princess in a scary dream. The strange and spooky scene plays out, like a mysterious dance of weird things happening where you can't see them. It was really a cryptid and scary scene, and it left everyone scared about the things that happened in that room. Nobody knew who was doing this and what his purpose behind doing all this creepy stuff. Cryptic forest specter.
You see it? Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, that's not a deer. What the devil is that?
In a dark forest at night, a secret video showed glowing eyes of a mysterious creature. The creature standing in the unknown, its eyes shining through the darkness. As the camera saw this strange being, the people filming struggled with not knowing, feeling confused. A ghostly figure appeared in the night, its glowing eyes shining strangely. The trees whispered a spooky mystery, and the leaves rustled with an eerie harmony. Was it a wild animal or a scary thing from nightmares? In the video, people disagreed about what the creature could be. Some thought it might be a powerful bear, while others feared it was a lion, a royal yet terrifying force hiding in the shadows.
I see you. Those eyes are wide, too.
The true identity of the creature stayed hidden in the dark. The creature's shape disappeared into the darkness, leaving only its glowing eyes. It stared at the camera, sending shivers down the spines of those trying to understand its mystery. In the middle of the night, where reality and strange things mixed, the video showed a scene of worry and fear. The mysterious creature, a hidden ghost, danced strangely with the camera. Its glowing eyes were like a doorway to something unknown. Without showing teeth or fur, it remained a mysterious part of the shadows, leaving its mark on the unknown.
Those are big eyes. Mm-hmm. Hello.
Snake in the house. This video was captured by a homeowner whose home was invaded by an unexpected intruder, a python. The snake can be seen staring at the man who lies on his bed while recording the video. Now it is not sure whether the snake is his pet or not, but the video is one of the creepiest sightings ever. The eyes of the python are glowing in the dark, and its huge size and long body is one of its scariest features. The huge serpent keeps staring at the man with its glowy eyes. What would you do if a python invaded your home? Share in the comments down below. Monkey feast. A cheeky young monkey lounges on a rock by the beautiful stream, enjoying and feasting on ripe mangoes. The monkey is twice the size of the normal monkey of its kind, and still doesn't seem to want to diet. It skillfully peels the mango with its little fingers and nibbles on it while enjoying the view. Some more leftovers of mangoes can be seen around him, making it clear that this isn't the first mango it's eating. This is one of the cutest videos ever captured in the wild. Creepy creature. The trail camera captured a glimpse of a creature from the night in the middle of the forest. With an uncanny presence, the creature emerged from the shadows and swiftly disappearing in the darkness again after showing itself in the moonlight for a few seconds. It can be seen glowing in the darkness of the night. Many spectators say that it was an otter roaming around in the woods in the night. However, it does look like a mini-sized dinosaur running through the woods at night. What do you think this creature is? Colorful feathers. Imagine this gorgeous hen, a brilliantly colored feathered work of art. Its body is covered in a symphony of hues. Vivid black and sunny yellows move over its feathers like paintbrush strokes on a canvas. Its glossy plumage is caressed by the sunlight, creating a glittering spectacle. The minute features are brought to life when it rests elegantly on a rock. Those round yellow eyes capture the essence of the creativity of nature, telling tales of curiosity and intelligence. The bird's feathers gleam in the sunlight, and the bright colors capture the spectator's attention in a glimpse. These beautifully colored hens are one of the rarest species of birds in the world. What do you think about them? creepy spectral encounter. In the dark, spooky night, a creepy video showed up on a lonely road. Next to it was a scary park keeping its secrets. A camera saw two ghosts appear. They were like light without any clear shape in the darkness. These ghostly things didn't follow the usual rules of being seen, but the camera was brave and caught them. They raced out of the mysterious park, moving super fast and blending into the night. When they got to the road, something strange pushed them ahead, and they glowed in a weird way. The camera, kind of forced to be part of this ghostly stuff, filmed them going to some unknown place. A weird, uneasy feeling filled the air as the ghosts vanished back into the darkness. Since they didn't really look like anything, it left everyone puzzled and a bit scared. This video wasn't just a normal recording. It was like a door to something we can't understand. A spooky reminder that sometimes the line between the living and the mysterious can be crossed. Each part of the video told a story of these strange ghosts, like a scary movie that played on people's fears. This strange meeting with things we can't explain stayed in people's minds, making them feel weird. The road, once just a regular place, now had seen something spooky hidden in the darkness. Proof that strange mysteries are out there when the world is covered in night. Mysterious video of a huge snake. In a really old farmhouse, way out in a distant village, something strange happened during the day. A weird video popped up showing something mysterious that left everyone who watched it very puzzled. Right in the middle of the video, there was a massive snake. It looked as scary as the village's hidden past. This snake was tied up to a worn-out pillar with some invisible ropes. Its huge size made everyone uncomfortable, like it came from a legend and was now in their hands. People in the village whispered that they might have done this, tied the snake up. But where this snake came from remained a big mystery. It showed up out of nowhere, like a ghostly protector or an omen, and no one could figure out why. The snake had shiny silver scales with dark lines on them. These lines seemed to move in a creepy way, like they had some strange power. Being near it made people feel uneasy, and a cold feeling crept over them. As the video played again and again, more and more questions filled the minds of the villagers and anyone who saw it. The old farmhouse, which already held so many secrets, now had a new puzzle. It both fascinated and frightened everyone, all under the strange gaze of the ancient snake. Eerie Bigfoot encounter.
Dude. That is massive.
In the dark woods at night, a mysterious video showed something big. The shadows in the video made it all spooky, like a secret dance. The night itself seemed to make it even more mysterious. In this video, you could see two glowing eyes in the dark. They belonged to a huge and mysterious creature, hiding in the shadows. People watching the video felt like they were part of a strange dance with something they couldn't understand. The dark woods turned into a weird stage, and the main character was the creature with glowing eyes. The video gave a quick look into a world of strange and unknown things.
Dude. That is massive.
And it made a strong impression on those who saw it. The creature, said to be the famous Bigfoot, stayed hidden in the darkness. You couldn't see its full shape because it stayed in the shadows. But those shining eyes told a story of something beyond what people could easily believe. It made the ones who saw it feel a bit scared and amazed at the same time. When the video ended, the mystery stayed in the air. A creepy feeling stuck with those who dared to explore the supernatural side of the woods. The glowing eyes of the hidden giant stayed in the memories of the people who saw the mysterious encounter in the dark forest.
You seen it on camera?
Octopus encounter. The video shows a giant Pacific octopus being released back into the ocean. Have you ever seen a creature this slimy? The body of the creature looks like jelly being smeared all over the floor. Its tentacles spread on all sides of its body, making it look even creepier. We can see it slithering on the floor until it reaches the edge of the boat and then jumps into the water. This is one of the most incredible videos ever captured. The huge head of the octopus is clearly visible, and its eyes can also be seen. Another thing to ponder about is that when the man touches the animal, it does not harm it in any way, while octopuses are considered to be dangerous and creepy sea creatures. Mysterious box unveiled. In the bright daylight, there were lots of sealed boxes. No one knew what was inside them. Something strange happened. A box started shaking by itself, making waves in the quiet scene. The air felt weird, like ordinary things were turning into something special. Nobody could understand what was going on. The small box throbbed with a strange beat, breaking the usual silence. Each shake seemed to tell a mysterious story, known only to that hidden space. A man, maybe chosen by luck, threw the box aside with his foot, but the mystery stuck around, blending into the unknown. The box found a new spot but still buzzed with curiosity. People couldn't look away from the moved box. Silence hung in the air, mixed with confusion. Even though it got pushed away, the strange happening left a mark on the ordinary day. People talked quietly, trying to figure out the unanswered questions. After this strange dance, the truth stayed hidden, covered by the unexplainable. The mysterious moment stayed in everyone's thoughts, like a puzzle waiting to be solved, a story waiting for someone curious to reveal the secrets in that odd box's vibrations. Mystic Shearing unveiled cute entity. In the daytime video, there was a strange sight. A black sheep covered in dark wool, almost like a shadow creature. It looked chubby, like a big potato with fuzzy fur all over. Someone, like a protector, showed up to take care of this mysterious creature. She carefully started cutting the wool in a special way, like doing a magical ceremony. The sheep, a big mystery, made it a tough job. Not easy for someone who's scared. But surprisingly, the creature stayed calm, as if it knew something magical was about to happen. During the cutting, a kind of magical dance happened between the person and the mysterious creature. As time passed, something magical occurred. The cutting turned the mysterious creature into an adorable, cute being. What was once hidden in shadows now stood in the daylight, looking innocent and new. In the mix of light and dark, the black sheep, now without its mysterious look, showed how special the cutting journey was. It went beyond just making it neat. It became a magical experience. Mysterious python swallows pet. In the bright daytime, a hidden camera caught something super strange in a regular home. There was a loud cry for help, and it got everyone pretty rattled. A mysterious rescue squad showed up, all sneaky like ghostly protectors. They found a huge python that had eaten the family cat, which was a real heartbreaker. The rescue folks, even though they were scared, cautiously got closer to the snake. They talked to the snake and somehow convinced it to give up its feline feast. Time felt like it was standing still as the python coughed up the cat, which was a pretty weird sight. The cat came out looking alive, not like you'd expect after that ordeal. The family was overjoyed, but they couldn't forget the question that kept bugging them. How on earth did the python manage to gobble up the whole cat, and what other secrets were hidden on that bizarre day? Mysterious sloth's enigmatic dance. In the woods, a hidden video popped up during the day. It showed a sloth hanging upside down on a tree. This sloth was different. It felt mysterious, like a secret keeper in the greenery. The sloth's shape, a mix of light and dark, said more than just what you could see. It had weird things on its limbs, long nails like ancient stories. The forest was quiet, as if it knew about the sloth's hidden performance, letting nature's odd story happen. In a dance of shadows, the sloth seemed to have a magical itch. Its big, strange nails played a soft tune over his body, like a gentle spell. It was continuously scratching his hands and his face. It was a strange feeling. Sunlight, playing hide-and-seek with leaves, made the sloth's secret dance even more magical. It was like a special performance where normal things mixed with mystery. The whole forest took a breath, surprised by something not easy to understand. In the forest's time story, the brown-throated sloth hung upside down, keeping secrets. The camera, just a regular watcher, only got a quick look at this magical connection between the sloth and the world. A short, special moment always remembered in nature's puzzles. Fiddler crab. On a sunny beach where the sun touched everything with gold, something secret happened. Imagine the sand telling stories to the waves. In this story, a special character appeared, a male fiddler crab. It danced alone like a mysterious dancer painting a picture on the sandy stage. The crab had strange claws, not the same on both sides. These claws were like tools with a hidden purpose, known only to the secrets of the coast. As it danced, the crab moved across the sand, maybe enjoying the feel of tiny grains beneath its small claws. Those uneven claws spoke a secret language, calling friends quietly and warning others to stay away. Dressed in colors of orange and white, the crab showed its mysterious charm. It was both cute and puzzling as it moved with a special rhythm along the shore. Each step in its dance was like a brushstroke in a painting of survival. Looking innocent, but hiding strength in its claws. As the mysterious dance continued, the crab seemed to talk with special moves. Only the creatures of the beach could understand this secret language, where friendships and fights were written in the shifting sand. The dance spoke about finding balance, being attractive and staying safe, showing a kind side behind its cute appearance. In this beach play, the fiddler crab was a mystery. Its odd ways went beyond ordinary, giving us a peek into the secret world of survival. Charm and danger walked together in its dance. So, under the sun's eyes, the fiddler crab's mysterious show went on, leaving behind a beach filled with wonder. Cryptic skull movement. In a strange video during the day, there were a lot of lifeless skulls hanging on a metal grill over a small wall. They looked eerie, like they were frozen in a weird dance in the bright light. All the skulls had their faces turned away except for one. It was looking out, as if trying to escape from the spooky group. Then, a woman came and tried to make the skulls line up properly, but once she left, something weird happened. The one skull that was fixed earlier started moving on its own, like it had a mind of its own. It felt like there was some kind of magic in the air, making people wonder if ghosts were playing a strange game or if something mysterious was happening to these lifeless skulls. This strange scene raised many questions. Shadows whispered secrets, and the way the skull moved hinted at something beyond what makes sense. When the video ended, the mystery hung in the air, making people think about strange forces that might exist between what we can touch and what we can't. It was like looking into a world where things we don't understand mix with the real world, making us think about the weird and unsettling things that might be out there. Cryptic night encounter. In the dark, a weird video showed a huge creature by a fence. It was big and mysterious, making everyone scared. We couldn't see its face well, but it gave us all the creeps. This strange giant stood there quietly, hidden in the night. We didn't know what it wanted, keeping its secrets in its giant shape. The night told secrets, and the scary creature made everyone feel uneasy. In a strange way, it jumped over the fence, sending a cold shiver through the night. We had no idea what happened next, too confusing for us to understand. The air felt weird, like something unknown was there. Hearts pounded, asking, what was this thing? Whispers in the wind told stories of a giant mystery that didn't make sense. Afterward, people couldn't forget that spooky night. The video, a scary reminder of something strange, kept its secrets. It left a chilling feeling for those brave enough to think about the mysterious creature. It became a strange story, like a ghost in our minds, making us wonder about things we couldn't understand. Mysterious nighttime spider climbing. In the dark, a secret video showed a huge spider-like thing climbing a tall building. It was mysterious and nobody knew where it came from. The video was not very clear, making the scene even more strange. The spider creature moved up the building in a creepy way, giving everyone a scary feeling. People talked about it, wondering where this creature came from. No one saw it before, and it wasn't like any normal spider. It was too big, making everyone scared as they watched it climb the building. The darkness helped hide the creature's secrets. People asked if it was from a dark place, or if it was a strange thing born from the shadows of the city. The video showed the spider moving like a scary dance against the city lights, making everyone who saw it feel afraid. After the video came out, the city felt uneasy. People realized something very strange had happened. The memory of the spider climbing the building stayed in the minds of those who saw it, like a scary picture in their bad dreams. Dogman staring at the camera. In the woods during the day, the camera saw something mysterious. A dogman, a hidden creature among the trees. The camera focused on it, like an unblinking eye watching a secret dance between nature and this elusive being. As the camera got closer, the dogman's intentions became a mystery. It stared at the camera with a captivating gaze, as if trying to see into the person behind it. The mystery deepened and the creature's true self remained hidden behind a blurry screen. When zoomed in, the video showed a confusing picture. Dogman's features were unclear, covered in the mystery of the forest. Was it a guardian spirit or an ancient forest creature with stories to tell? People who watched the video were confused. They wondered about the connection between the person filming and Dogman. Why did the Dogman choose that moment to show up? And what secrets lingered in the woods? The answer stayed quiet, a puzzle woven into the natural world. As the sounds of leaves carried away the memories of the encounter, the mystery of the daytime woods stayed, leaving a lasting mark on everyone's imagination, a dance of mysterious shadows caught in a brief moment of daylight magic. Baby sloth reunited with its mother. Video showed that in a special forest, during the daytime, something magical happened. Someone appeared, holding a tiny baby sloth in his hand like a secret. The leaves whispered as this caretaker moved through the shady forest, a guardian of a hidden story. Among the old trees, the mom sloth who ruled the treetops stood quietly. Her wise eyes saw the reunion coming, just like the wind had whispered. The secret exchange began, passing the little life from one hug to another. Hidden observers in the leaves saw a beautiful scene, filled with curiosity and admiration. The mom sloth had been waiting patiently for her baby to come back. This special reunion became a part of the forest's memory. Leaving everyone who saw it captivated by the mysterious dance of life under the green trees. In that quick moment, the forest shared its secrets, inviting anyone curious enough to look in and see the peaceful dance of life. The memory of this meeting stayed like a quiet story, passed along from leaf to leaf, making sure the special dance between mom and baby sloth stayed alive in the wild. Lions eating hippo carcass. In the daytime, in the bushes, something spooky happened. A video showed a dead hippo covered in red. Two hungry lions were sitting nearby, eating its face. People didn't know why the hippo died. Did the lions do it, or was something else there? The air had scary stories from the wild. What made this terrible scene happen? Were the lions to blame, or was there a hidden mysterious thing making it all go wrong? The hippo, once innocent, lay in the harsh light of day, its secrets hidden in the quiet of nature. The hungry lions, maybe partners in crime or just unknowing players, ate the clues. Questions lingered, echoing through the wild's guessing game. While the video played, the world outside didn't know the scary show in the bushes. The secret stuck to the scene like a ghost, a truth slipping away from those trying to get it. What dark story played in the hidden bush theater? The mystery stayed, covered in the whispers of the wind and the lion's spooky looks, keepers of a secret only nature could understand.
Yeah.
Cryptic midnight CCTV horror. Late at night, when it was really dark, cameras that watched everything silently saw something strange. A camera, like a watchman in the shadows, showed a scary story. A thing, not completely a person and not really like a dog, appeared when it was not very bright. How it moved was weird. Like a mix of a person and a dog that didn't follow normal rules. This strange thing walked through all the cameras one by one at the same time. Shadows danced around it, making it look even stranger. The cameras watched it closely, making everyone feel like it was everywhere at once. The video, with an unusual light, showed something really scary. The thing, covered in darkness and mystery, moved strangely, and we couldn't tell what it wanted from the strange, unclear images. A creepy sound whispered through the security system, confusing even the smartest watchers. People got scared because of this mysterious thing. The town, feeling nervous and worried, tried to understand what it was. People talked quietly, guessing and feeling scared like a ghost was around. There were many questions, like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Who or what this strange thing was, and why it was doing something so mysterious at midnight. In the middle of the night, the weird and scary video kept making everyone think about it, leaving behind a picture of fear mixed with things we didn't know. The mystery stayed, like a puzzling ghost in the videos, making its strange mark on the stories we couldn't explain. Night forest, ghostly cries. In the dark forest at night, something scary happened. A person in a car recorded it with their camera. The video felt strange, like it had a spooky power. From the hidden parts of the forest, a weird cry echoed. It sounded like a sad woman, but you couldn't see her. The video made it all mysterious. As the video played, it made the air feel heavy and scary. The woman's cries mixed with the forest sounds, making it hard to tell what was real. It felt like the living and the ghostly were all mixed up. The car in the middle of the wild saw everything. The people inside felt both interested and scared. The normal world seemed to break as the cries echoed, making a strange scene. No face came with the sad cries, so you didn't know if it was a real woman or a ghost. The answer stayed a mystery, making everyone who saw it feel unsure. From the deep part of the dark forest, the scary sounds marked the minds of those who watched. It sent shivers down their spines, showing how creepy things can hide in the night. Giant wolf! In the dark, something strange happened. A big video showed a giant wolf coming out of the shadows. Its eyes were shining mysteriously. The air felt weird and scary as the wolf moved. Like a mysterious dance in the dark. The wolf walked in a tricky way, making it even more mysterious. People watching couldn't move, feeling a scary cold. The wolf looked like a ghost in the night, moving in a strange and graceful way, different from its scary look. People watching got scared, and a shiver went through everyone as the mystery continued. When the wolf got close to the road, the air felt like something unseen was happening. Nobody knew why the wolf was there or what it wanted. Every moment was filled with a feeling of not knowing, like a strange story in the spooky scene. Nobody dared to figure out what the wolf wanted. The video showed something we couldn't explain, like a secret message from the shadows. People stayed confused and curious, like a never-ending puzzle. In that scary night, the mystery stayed, leaving a strong memory in everyone's mind, always remembered as something unknown. Giant snake. In a regular house during the day, a secret video showed something strange. A really big snake was hiding behind the room's roof. It was so big that it scared everyone. Suddenly, the snake broke the roof and showed itself completely. It was long and wide, making everyone feel really scared. No one knew where this snake came from. This huge snake did mysterious things, like a dance with the roof. It was like a magic show, and it surprised everyone watching the video. The snake was like a king in the room, making everything else seem not important. People watching couldn't believe their eyes. It was so strange and big that it gave them chills. When the roof broke, it was like a secret being revealed. Everyone watching was curious about where this giant snake came from. It was like a big question in the air. Where did the snake come from? And what secrets did it bring with it? This mysterious moment was like a strange and confusing picture. The snake, like a ghost, left a strong mark on everyone's thoughts. In the quiet house, people kept thinking about the strange encounter. The big question stayed in the air. Where did the snake appear from, and what secrets did it have? Mysterious lioness encounter. In the daytime bushes, something strange happened. There's a video of people and a lioness in a vehicle. It's weird because you don't expect a wild lioness in a car. The people around the lioness act like it's normal, not scared at all. It's like they're friends with the lioness, which makes it even more puzzling. Are they just watching the wild show? Or do they know something mysterious? The video feels creepy, like a spooky scene. But the strange part is that the people don't look scared. They look used to it, like it happens often. It's a mix of normal and weird that messes with your mind. Even though you see it in the video, the real reason for this bizarre meeting stays hidden. People talk and guess, but the mystery stays. It's like a secret meeting with the unknown, caught in a short video that leaves you feeling uneasy, like a strange picture you can't forget. Mysterious mountain goat. In the bright daytime up in the quiet mountains, something mysterious happened. A special video showed a powerful white mountain goat walking through the trees. It looked healthier and stronger than regular goats, standing out with its shiny white fur. This strange creature moved gracefully among the trees, as if it held some special power. It was different, not like the usual goats you'd find. Its white coat seemed to glow, catching the light like magic. It made people wonder, why was this exceptional goat in those mountains? What was it up to? The mountains stayed silent, keeping their secrets, and the video just made people guess. Was the goat guarding ancient secrets, predicting unseen things, or just wandering without a clear destination? The video left everyone puzzled, making this mysterious moment a lasting memory in the story of unknown things. In the quiet mountains, the strange goat became a puzzle, a temporary keeper of secrets, making people everywhere curious about the hidden wonders of nature. Gray owls. A magical video shows an old forest with a wise gray owl and its two babies. The owl is big and looks cute with lots of soft feathers. Gray owls are the biggest owls on Earth. They live in the daytime, which is unusual for owls. The video makes the forest seem mysterious. The owl is like a guardian of the ancient trees. The babies stay close, hidden in the shadows. It's like a living memory of the past, seen in the patterns on tree bark. In the video, the owl watches over its babies, keeping them safe from things we can't see in the sunlight. It's like a story in nature, a family tale told without words. The owl's eyes show it knows things from a long time ago, like a wise storyteller. Even in the daylight, the owl keeps its mystery, defying the usual rules. The video lets us join the owl in protecting its family. It's a quiet adventure in the woods, with the owl guarding against hidden dangers in the sunlight. The gray owl isn't just a bird of the day. It's a magical guardian, keeping secrets woven into its feathers. The ancient woods whisper their mysteries, inviting anyone curious enough to explore the enigma of the gray owl and its family. A black wild cat. Once upon a time in a big green forest, being extraordinary occurred. Imagine this wild, quiet place where all kinds of animals lived. Deep in the heart of the woods, under the warm, golden sun, a rare and mysterious animal called a jaguarundi appeared. The jaguarundi isn't like a big, fierce jungle cat, but rather a lower, more slippery one. It moves gracefully with a polished body and a long, elegant tail. Its fur is a unique mix of colors, like a blend of red, brown, and slate. This jungle ninja floated the forest with a secret grace, nearly like a shadow. But what made this day special was the rare footage captured by a lucky adventurer. They were quietly staying, camera in hand, and suddenly there it was, the jaguarundi in all its glory. With eyes wide and full of wonder, the camera rolled, catching this mystical fealty on film. In that moment, the timber brooded its secrets, and the jaguarundi's rare appearance became a magical tale for all to see, a regard into the isolated treasures of the wild. The crazy deer. Once upon a time in the deep forest, there lived a deer family. They were a close-knit bunch, always looking out for one another. But one day, something strange occurred to one of the deer. This deer, who was usually calm and gentle, suddenly began to act in an unusual way. It all started when the deer accidentally hit another family member. Rather than just apologizing and moving on, the deer began to hit them. It was a shocking sight. The other family members were bewildered and did not understand what was going on. As the days went by, the abnormal actions continued. The deer would hit anyone who came near, causing fear among the family. They did not know what had changed their cherished family member into such a troublemaker. The formerly peaceful family was now in disquiet. The deer family tried to talk to the worried deer, but it was as if they could not reach them. They desperately searched for a way to help their worried family members and bring back the harmony they formerly enjoyed in the deep forest. The black polar bear. In the core of a weedy, mysterious jungle, one dark and stormy night, something exceptional occurred. Imagine a gigantic black polar bear, far from its icy home, stumbling through deep, sticky mud. The rain poured down relentlessly, creating a balance of drops that sounded through the thick greenery. As the bear tramped through the muddy field, it sounded out of place, a true mystery in this tropical world. Its black fur flashed under the moonlight, differing with the flourishing greenery of the jungle. The bear's movements were slow and thoughtful, each step leaving a deep trace in the mud, evidence of its power and royalty. Unknown to the bear, hidden among the trees, a silent watcher captured this real moment on a trail camera. The camera's lens caught every detail, making this special encounter a tale to be participated in with the world. Nature's riddles are endless, and this is just one of the numerous phenomena that unfold in the quiet corners of our Earth. Alpine ibex in the mountains. In the classy mountains, a powerful animal with long, twisted horns roams freely. As the camera follows this glorious animal, you can see its thick brown fur, which keeps it warm in the cold alpine air. Its strong legs easily carry it up to bold pitches and rocky scarps. As it trots along the tough area, being unique catches its concentration. The ibex stops and begins to scratch its body using its enormous spiral-structured horns. It's a remarkable sight, those twisted attachments, originally a symbol of strength and protection, now serving as an informal tail scrape. The animal's movements are graceful and thoughtful, showing its nimbleness and adaptation to the harsh mountain life. Its journey through this fresh nature is an evidence to nature's unbelievable creations, where indeed the putatively ordinary can come extraordinary. Watch and wonder as this alpine habitat continues its daily adventures in the high-altitude walk of the mountains. The haunting white mask. In a quiet, dimly lit room, something truly curious unfolded. A camera was exactly placed by a person, eager to capture any abnormal things. As the night settled in, the room was screened in an haunting silence, broken only by the casual rustling of leaves outdoors. Suddenly, a faded, ghostly face came up in the darkness, covered by a chilly white mask. It was a haunting sight, staring through the window like a mysterious apparition. The camera, strategically placed, caught this surreal moment, setting it in time. The man behind the camera watched in wonder, suspicious of what he'd just witnessed. Was it a prank, a ghostly encounter, or something else entirely? The mysterious figure outside remained a silent riddle, leaving the room filled with a disturbing air of the unknown. This strange event, captured on camera, left observers with a spine-clinking mystification to consider. A creepy image. In the quiet darkness of a moonlit night, a chilly image was captured by a camera ready to shoot shivers down your spine. Imagine a spooky girl with penetrating stone-alike eyes, their cold eye appearing to enter your identical soul. Her bony, twisted fingers reach out as if gesturing you into the unknown. Her long, untidy hair falls around her like a crazy dark fall, hiding her face in dark. She's dressed in a ragged and ghostly wear, a spectral figure that haunts the points of your worst nightmares. As the camera lens captured this creepy vision, the melody raised heavily with an unexplainable fear. It's a sight that lingers in your mind, haunting your visions and making you challenge the boundaries between the real and the supernatural. Watch with caution, for this image holds a tale of the paranormal, ready to send chills down your spine and leave you questioning the effects that go bump in the darkness. Bobcat encounter. In a forested scene, a robust bobcat aggressively pounces, targeting a man's facial region with violence. After the unsettling encounter, the man documents the aftermath on video. Astonishingly, he captures footage of himself holding the once aggressive bobcat in his hand. Notably, the video showcases the creature's significant dental structures, underscoring the impressive size and form of its teeth.
Look at that beauty. The big teethers on her.
This unusual and daring incident sheds light on the captivating behavior of wildlife in its natural habitat, offering a unique glimpse into the complex relationship between humans and the untamed creatures that inhabit the wild. A big cat. In the core of the wild jungle, a heavy, mysterious cat prowled in the moonlight. Its strong body moved quietly through the thick greenery, its golden eyes flashing with a mix of curiosity and secret. Something had started a trail camera set up in the dark of the night, capturing this graceful animal's every move. As we watch and wonder, the big cat's spotted fur blends seamlessly with the spotted moonlight filtering through the jungle cover. With each step, it leaves a trace of suspense and wonder. What's it searching for? The jungle's secrets, maybe? A night snack, possibly? Or is it on a journey to keep its habitat, the watcher of this untamed walk? The air is thick with expectation as we follow the big cat's journey, caught on this quiet camera, giving us a rare look into the mysterious world of the jungle after dark. Stay tuned as we reveal the secrets of this fascinating and elusive animal's nighttime adventures. Giant wolf. In a deep, dark forest where the high trees rumored secrets and the leaves rustled like whispers, a great big wolf prowled. This wolf was massive, with sharp teeth like daggers and eyes that shimmered with hunger. The wolf's fur was as dark as the night, and its breath started like fog. One sunny day, a little doggy, much lower than the giant wolf, was playing in the forest. The doggy's fur was a blend of brown and white, and its tail wagged with excitement as it explored the forest land. But also, in an unforeseen and fearful moment, the big wolf charged at the little doggy. The doggie's heart pounded and it barked in fear. The forest echoed with the wolf's fierce growls, and the ground shook with its heavy way. The little canine's instincts accepted in, and it ran as quickly as its bitsy legs could carry it, contending through the trees and springing over backwoods. The chase continued through the woods with the big wolf hot on the doggie's tail. It was a heart-pounding race between a giant wolf and a small, clever survivor in the wild. Fight of two giant bears. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a wild and untamed jungle, two massive, black, furry grizzly bears set up themselves locked in a ferocious and roaring showdown. The sun was shining brightly above, casting dappled shafts through the thick cover of trees onto the jungle bottom. Both bears, snorting and growling, were locked in a battle of strength and will. They stood on their hind legs, their claws glinting in the sun as they swiped and roared at each other. The earth vibrated beneath their strong paws. Each bear was determined to prove their dominance over this lush and mysterious home. Leaves rustled, and branches shook as they collided, transferring echoes of their ferocious fight through the jungle. The birds in the trees took to the sky, their bodies beating in an unmelodious delirium. Other creatures galloped down, fleeing the explosive spectacle of these giants colliding. As the day wore on, the battle raged, a true test of muscle and flexibility. The jungle bore evidence to this grand struggle, and only time would tell which bear would crop as the sovereign of this untamed area. A giant black animal. Once upon a time, in a big wild place, there lived a giant black animal with shaggy fur, nearly like a massive buffalo. This strong beast floated freely through the vast lands, where the trees reached for the sky and the field was as high as a person. One sunny day, this enormous black creature tramped its way toward a strange appliance, a shining and noisy vehicle that did not belong in the wild. Its dark eyes twinkled with curiosity as it approached. The heavy animal lowered its colossal head, and with its immense strength, it gently began to rub its furry head against the side of the vehicle. It was as if the creature set up a new friend in this machine from another world. The vehicle, with its hard essence face, varied starkly with the animal's soft, thick fur. The giant black creature's behavior were a mix of riddle and wonder, as if it was trying to figure out the strange object. This unusual scrape between the wild and the mechanical was a testament to the beauty of nature's curiosity and its capability to accommodate and explore the strange. Lion's attack on giraffe. Once upon a time, in a land of high rocky mountains, there was a peaceful giraffe just minding its own business. The giraffe was walking through the rugged terrain, looking for some appetizing breaks to munch on. It was a bright and sunny day, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers. But suddenly, a growl echoed through the mountains, and a group of fierce lions surfaced from the rocky checks. The lions had spotted the giraffe, and hunger lustered in their eyes. They approached the giraffe with a stealthy way, their strong bodies hidden among the brilliance. The giraffe, seeing danger, tried to run, but the rocky terrain made it delicate. The lions were determined in their pursuit, and they circled the giraffe, their roars filling the air. The giraffe, with its long legs, protested and tried to defend itself, but the lions were determined to catch their mess. The giraffe's heart competed as it faced this dangerous moment in the Rocky Mountains, encircled by empty lions. The battle between the giraffe and the lions was a fierce struggle for survival in the wild, untamed nature. Snake's meal. Once upon a time, in the bright light of day, an empty and cunning snake crawled quietly through the ground. Its body moved like a curled swash, blending with the green world around it. The snake's eyes were fixated on a breathless critter lying on the ground. The animal was no longer alive, and the snake, with its sharp, sharp mouth, was determined to have a mess. With a fleet flicker of its black lingo, the snake tasted the air, trying to describe any peril hard. It was like a stealthy operative, making sure no bone could catch it while it had its mess. As the snake approached the still body, its jaws opened wide, revealing its threatening fangs. It inched closer, calculating its move, and also, with a lightning-fast strike, it sank its teeth into the breathless animal's meat. The snake's jaw locked onto its prey, and it began to sluggishly consume the mess. Its black lingo continued to flutter out, tasting the success of its search. In the bright daylight, the snake's survival instincts accepted in, and it flavored its mess, knowing it had prevailed in the circle of life. The wolf attack on a man. Once upon a time, there was a cameraman on an instigative adventure deep in the wild. He was on a charge to capture the fugitive and mysterious wolves on film. With his camera ready and heart pounding with excitement, he ventured into the desert. After hours of patient waiting, he eventually stumbled upon a quiet cave. To his amazement, inside the cave were a mama wolf and her bitsy, lovable babies. The cameraman could not believe his luck, and he sluggishly moved closer to get the perfect shot. But as he inched nearer, the mama wolf grew nervous and defensive. In an unforeseen, fearful moment, she attacked the cameraman, teeth disclosed and growling. He realized he'd come too close, too quickly, and the wolf was only trying to defend her precious pups. In a frantic struggle, the cameraman fought to cover himself, trying not to harm the wolf. Ultimately, he managed to retreat safely, shaken, but alive. It was a lesson learned about considering the wild and the significance of keeping a safe distance from its habitants. A hungry monkey. Once upon a time in a big hot desert, there was actually an empty monkey. The sun was shining so brightly that the sand felt like a hot roaster. The monkey's abdomen rolled loudly, and he could not ignore his hunger any longer. With his little monkey hands, he dug into the hot beach, looking for being to eat. At first, all he set up were some dry sticks and rocks, but he did not give up. He knew that the desert had secrets hidden deep beneath the beach. Also, after some digging and forbearance, he set up a secret treasure, a juicy, ripe cactus fruit. The fruit was a bright orange color and looked so appetizing. The monkey could not believe his luck. His eyes sparkled with joy as he plucked the fruit from the cactus and bit into it. The sweet and juicy meat cooled his parched throat, and he savored every bite. With each bite, the monkey's hunger sluggishly evaporated, and he felt a renewed energy. He knew he'd set up a mess fit for a desert king, and he enjoyed every last bit of that delicious cactus fruit. The monkey, now gratified and full, lay back in the shade of the cactus, appreciative for his desert feast. The bear rings the doorbell. One spooky night out in the wild woods, there was a curious bear on the prowl. This furry friend had a freak glamour for doorbells. Little did anyone know that a trail camera had its open-eyed eye on the scene. As the moon cast creepy dark, the bear approached a lonely house. In the pitch-black night, it reared up on its hind legs like a big, light jumbo, and with a heavy paw, it reached out to press the doorbell. It was a bit like a big, furry cutlet poking at the button. The trail camera, hidden hard, snapped a print just in time to capture this unforeseen moment. The bear's sportful curiosity, or maybe its mischievous intentions, were a riddle, but the image revealed a humorous side of nature. The house, unknowing of the darkness caller, stayed quiet as the bear's bell-ringing adventure came to an end. This strange but fascinating event was a remembrance of the surprising encounters that can be in the wild, indeed when we least await it. Lion killed the cheetah. Once upon a time, on a bright and sunny day, there was a big, strong lion and a fast, spotted cheetah. They both lived on a farm with lots of creatures. The lion and the cheetah were always trying to prove who was the powerful. One day, the captain and the cheetah had a big fight. The captain was actually strong, with sharp teeth and strong muscles. He roared loudly and showed his strength. The cheetah, on the other hand, was quick and graceful. She ran around trying to outsmart the lion. In the end, after a fierce battle, the lion managed to catch the cheetah. With a strong swipe of his paw, he defeated the cheetah. It was a tough day for the ranch, as the lion had shown his strength and won the battle. The other creatures watched in astonishment as the lion proved his dominance, but they also felt sad for the courageous cheetah. This day became a part of the farm's history, a day when the lion showed his power, and the cheetah's spirit faded from memory. Thank you for coming along on this spooky adventure with us. Subscribe to our channel if you want more spine-chilling stories and hair-raising encounters, and remember to set that notification bell to ensure you get all the updates on our fascinating adventures.
A land of ancient civilization, Egypt holds in it the most bizarre, terrifying, and peculiar creatures. Some are remains of the dead, others still out there trying to scare humans with their frightening features. Sit tight to see these mind-boggling things caught on camera. Tied mummy. An ancient criminal? Or proof of classic cruelty from our ancestors' time? Well, in truth, it's none of these. Found in a 1.8 meter deep pit, the body of a man believed to be in his mid-age was strangely tied and was buried 1,800 years ago in this burial chamber. But with his hand covering the face and whole body being tied with ropes, the mummy is not a victim, but actually it was a part of their custom that was practiced around hundreds of years ago. Yes, researchers believe that the whole binding process may have been some kind of ritual, practiced to preserve the bodies forever. Croc mummies. Either dead or alive, crocs will always scare humans to their cores. While digging the ancient tombs, the research workers found 12 crocs buried in the soil. Looking alive from afar, it felt like they might open their jaws at any moment, because their textured skin still looked fresh and the teeth were still intact within the jaws. The researchers were stunned when they got to know that the crocodiles had been buried 2,500 years prior, because how could something this old be in almost its original condition? Well, actually, they were preserved with a particular method which excluded wrappings and resin, which helped them keep their original condition. Abandoned alien. Strolling in the desert is an alien creature. Though it has a humanoid body with its extremely long limbs, thin skin, and the way it is walking with a stooped posture, it sure gives some eerie vibes to the onlookers. Because of the blurry video, some say that it is a chupacabra walking in the deserts and planning an attack on the livestock. A majority of the people believe that because it is found in a deserted area, it could be a mummy that decided to come alive after spending centuries in the coffin. Because how else could anyone explain the slim body of the weirdo walking in the middle of the day? Deserted whales. While we believe that fish and deserts are two parallel things, researchers in Egypt found whale carcasses right in the desert lands, and not just one or two. The desert was filled with bones, skulls, and huge carcasses of whales. In fact, these bones were so abundant in the land that it was given the name of Whale Valley. While folks were baffled, how could it be possible? According to investigators, it may be possible that in ancient ages, it was a result of a mass beaching, in which the whales and dolphins willingly strand themselves on land and die. And when the ocean moved further away, they may have been buried in the sand. Ancient skeleton. Standing in an Egyptian museum is this eerie statue. containing a perfectly carved body with its eyes resembling a human and always observing the people. The statue, being 4,500 years old and being held in the Museum of Cairo, is considered a wonder of ancient art. The statue has a perfectly plastered and painted outermost layer, but the most striking feature of the statue is no doubt its eyes. Made with sycamore wood, the fact that they are still present in almost their original form is quite impressive, as the researchers are trying to figure out the secret ingredient used to keep it so long-lasting. Bursting pool. Right in the middle of the desert, there's lava popping out, and it looks like it's about to explode on the onlookers' faces. But what is it? This question has been baffling people for so long. Some said it was the pit of the Sarlacc, a beast believed to be living beneath the desert sands. The others called it a desert monster coming out of its hiding place. But in reality, it's actually neither of these, as it was a small reserve of oil found in the middle of Egypt's desert, and due to extreme heat, the oil looked like it was about to burst out of the small hole. Sleeping girl. Looking like a sleeping child, the girl shocked the archaeologists when it was caught, because it felt like the girl would open its eyes at any moment. But actually, she had been dead for about 1,200 years, and was perfectly preserved, which muddled the researcher too. But her history is even more baffling. The girl was a teenager when she was sacrificed as a common religious practice of that time. Found in her hair were the signs of consuming alcohol and cocoa, which were given to her as a way to persuade her for the sacrifice, which actually means that she was drugged before the ritual took place. Concealed toads. Preserving the least expected things. The old customs are nothing but a mystery for the present world. Just like this, when a man, while digging an ancient tomb, unearthed a jar. While the other jars used to be filled with the organs of humans that died hundreds of years ago, this one was filled with 8 mummified toads. Yeah, toads, about 4,000 years old. And when they investigated them even further, the archaeologists were shocked to see that all 8 toads were decapitated before being preserved in the jar. But nobody knows what the purpose of preserving toads was. Were they considered holy in the past world? Or is there some mystery in it we cannot ever unveil? Preserved victim. While preservation of the old elite people is something we're used to, a preserved murder victim was something new even for the archaeologists. Not manually buried, but being dumped in a peat bog, the corpse was naturally preserved. Meet the 2,400-year-old corpse, known as the Tulland Man. Found deep in a bog with its neck tied with rope, the researchers were able to determine that the corpse had been hung. For what purpose, no one knows. But one thing there is the last meal he had eaten before he was put to death, which turned out to be porridge and some fish. Exposed grave. Not a mummy, but a man's camera caught a bizarre scene from a cemetery. He spotted a half-open grave in the middle of the cemetery, and taking a closer look, the man's camera recorded the skeleton of a human, probably 1.8 meters tall, lying inside. Not knowing how the grave opened, the guy went a little inside, and he was shocked to see some more skulls placed on the grave's corner. And that was not it, as human legs and some other body parts were also present inside it, which definitely didn't belong to the single person. So what was going on here? Let me know what you think. Mummified Queen. With her veins still red, skin still tough, the lady, known as the Queen of Mummification, is said to be the wealthiest woman of her time. Sleeping along with the valuables that were placed inside her tomb, she showed the signs of wealth and prosperity, and the researchers assumed that this might be the reason behind the exemplary preservation of the lady, because even after being dead for hundreds of years, her joints were still flexible, even though her eyelash and nose hair were still intact, and it looked like a corpse of a recently deceased person, rather than someone who had died centuries ago. Dino people. If you used to believe that humans came following the dinosaurs' extinction, then get ready to be proven wrong, As buried underneath a tomb, scientists discovered something strange yet fascinating. They unearthed hundreds of figurines containing the figure of humans and dinosaurs, and both of them along with each other. And even some of them showed people riding the dinosaurs, which potentially proves that there might have been some time in the ancient eras where both of these creatures used to live together, but probably for a very short period of time, that no signs other than these thousands-of-year-old figurines were found. Gold mummies. This is the Valley of the Gold Mummies, where multiple people are taking their eternal sleep, covered in gold, containing a rich culture filled with distinct traditions. Egyptians highly impacted their surroundings, just like the Romans, who, when invading Egypt, adopted the process of mummification, and that in gold, obsessed with the idea of gold. The Egyptians used to believe that the gods were made up of gold, so when their kings died, they used to cover their bodies in gold-plated coffins, and sometimes even covered their faces with gold so that they could become a divine being in the afterlife. Sewer monster. While exploring the ancient caves, a group of explorers decided to go a little further inside it, in search of some old treasures that might be hidden there. When not being able to locate anything, the group decided to head back towards their car. But it turned out someone really didn't want them to go back, as when heading back, one of the boys heard something coming from an ancient drainage system a little distant from the caves. And there it was, a strange creature, a cryptid, that even though locked in the bars, was trying all of its efforts to come out and catch the group.
Okay.
But luckily, the group made it out unharmed. Unicorn remains. While many of us believe that unicorns belong to the fictional world and don't belong to our world, a man's camera caught the unexpected, a unicorn skull half buried in the sand. And when it was brought to the researchers, they revealed something that might disappoint you, as these ancient unicorns are nothing like we expected them to be, and are more recent than the humans had assumed. Because in reality, the unicorns did not resemble the horses, but actually were something quite like rhinos, with a single horn over its head, that roamed the earth about 29,000 years ago. Coffins of Saqqara. Found inside the tomb of Saqqara are buried the rarest and the most fascinating coffins. An archaeologist was shocked when he accidentally found a chamber of huge figurines that were buried there about 2,000 years ago. And when they went inside, the archaeologist was surprised to see hundreds of them placed inside the chamber. And not alone, they were placed along with gilded masks and falcons, and a lot of other antique things that showed signs of wealth, as no ordinary people were inside those coffins. Some of them were kings and queens of the 2,000-year-old world, and that proves that Saqqara was once a land of great importance. Egyptian witch. A man decided to visit a cave to see the ancient witch that is believed to be living there. At first, he was disappointed to have not spotted anything, but on his way back, he was shocked to see a creature sitting on the abandoned side of the mountain. The creature, or must I say the womanly beast wearing black clothes, had a strange appearance. Holding a stick made of animal skull, the cryptid's face was all covered. Furious for being followed by the man, the witch went inside, and even from a distance, it was clear that she was casting some sort of spell. Clearly for this reason, as she didn't want the boy to leave there alive. Lady Rye. A perfect example of embalming for the archaeologists. This is Lady Rye, discovered in 1881. She is believed to have died at 40 years of age, and is usually referred to as the oldest mummy which has ever been found. But other than being the oldest lady, Rye's body holds so many fascinating features. Her body was at first covered in linen clothing, and then for preservation, the people had used a mixture of resin and sand, which had helped in keeping the corpse intact. And her CT scan revealed that she had been suffering from atherosclerosis, which led to her death, a disease quite common in people from that age. gowned man. Why is it always that in the darkest of nights, people decide to explore the creepiest of places? Well, right there, stands the answer to our question. While visiting the ancient detention center that was actually built to imprison the old criminals, hearing some weird voices, the visitors were sure that there was something strange going on in there. But, well, whatever it was, didn't give the people any time to react, as it popped right in front of them. Wearing a long white gown. Because the video cuts right there, nothing much is known of the eerie gowned man. But what do you think it actually was? Mystery creature. When caught on camera, a mysterious creature with a pale color was caught walking on an empty road at night. It was about 2 meters tall and was walking while scooching over. It had a human head, but relatively skinny body. And as soon as the video went viral, it started a debate among the paranormal enthusiasts. Some say it is a hoax, while others believe the video shows they have spotted similar things around their houses. But because the exact location of the creature was not known, nothing much about it was revealed. So, was it a ghost, a mummy, or an alien caught wandering? Cave ghost. Feeling that something is not right with the place, the man started recording to get proof of what he was seeing. It was wearing a white cape-like clothing and kept encountering the man, probably signaling him to go back. And there it was, a little far, but a creature with no legs and presumably no bones was caught at an abandoned place and strolling there for some time. The ghost-like creature went straight into the wall and disappeared. Because the video cuts there, not much is known about the creature. But do let me know what you think of this flying ghost. Seti the Mummy. Lying in the National Museum of Egypt, Seti's mummy has gained much importance for the last few years, as researchers have found something that has been keeping the mummy intact for years. Other than being usually packed and mummified like the rest, it looks like the ancient Egyptians used to be quite advanced in plastic surgery, as they have applied filters on the cheekbones and even on the head. That's how, even after being decapitated by some robbers 3,000 years ago, the mummy, covered in lots of clothing, still lies in the museum, as fresh as it can be. Inside the pyramids. Compared to our little knowledge, there are way more mysteries that the pyramids contain. Just like this beauty. Well, she's the beauty of the mummy's world. Officials say that when they discovered her and opened her coffin, she was wearing a gold crown on her head and jewelry as well. And because the lady was not identified, the fact that she was buried in an elite place and gold finery was buried along her determines the rank she belonged to. But there was something strangely unique in her, as the lady was not buried with her original eyes, but they had been replaced by wooden eyes that were carved exactly like real ones. Miniature coffins. While digging up a tomb of an ancient king in Egypt, the archaeologists came across the tiniest coffins, and inside them laid the tiniest mummies of stillborn babies of the king. Though the scientists know that such mutations and stillbirths were common in the ancient world, they were still investigating the fact that these two baby girls were born along with their father. But it was after some time they got to know that being buried along with girls was considered a luck charm, as the ancient people used to believe the girls and women as their protectors that would guide them in their afterlives. Oldest mummy. This 300-year-old mummy was found in the year 2020 and was believed to be something out of this world. Though the corpse was not present in its original form and was distorted from several parts, the researchers consider it a present from the past. The corpse was male, with a height of 1.5 meters, covered in several pieces of clothes that were strongly tied with the corpse. The inside of the body looked like it was cremated before burial, but not just a single dead body, but several cremated parts of human bodies were also placed inside the coffin, which made the discovery even more suspicious. Underwater mysteries. Hiding underneath the water, The recent finds in an Egyptian city are not something you would see every day, as they belong to different parts of history. At one side of the Mediterranean Sea, archaeologists found the remains of a 2,200-year-old shipwreck that was struck by the giant blocks of a large temple from the city that had already sunk in the water before. And on the other side, they have also found an ancient burial ground from where different kinds of decorated pottery and gold amulets under the water were believed to be 2,400 years old. An archaeologist, while exploring the Great Pyramids of Egypt, had this strange experience. While going down through a wooden ladder, the man felt a strange movement deep down, so he paused there for a while. And there it was, a wild creature resembling a wolf and containing Satan horns on his head was approaching the archaeologists. Unable to identify it, he quickly ran towards the top, leaving the beast far behind in the tunnel. Though nothing much was revealed by them, it's believed that the tunnel was later filled with mud to secure the researchers from any danger. Let me know what you think of this strange discovery.
Forests are beyond trees and wild animals, but a place where dangerous mythical creatures are known to take refuge. From mysterious creatures in the dark to completely unrecognizable forces in broad daylight, these are some of the most disturbing creatures ever to be caught on the trail camera. Skeleton with glowing eyes. Either this is a prison escapee or a good old ghost. A group of young hikers who were out on a camping trip in Casanino National Forest, Arizona. While exploring the forest, they noticed a troubled-looking man sitting beside a narrow stream of water. To get a better look at it, the light was focused on it, to which it reacted by suddenly turning and staring at them. It had a shaved head with a skinny body, almost as if it were a Halloween skeleton. No matter how dark it gets, human eyes do not glow or reflect light, which clearly shows that this was no human, but a skeleton ghost. Glowing-eyed mummy chase. Just by looking at the glowing eyes, you can know this certainly is no hoax. In September 2019, two colleagues were returning from work in their car when a manly figure in the dark started sprinting parallel to them. Seconds later, the ghostly figure closed in towards the light, revealing its final form. It seemed to look like a mummy with glowing eyes and an incredible speed. First, it got closer to them and then attempted to jump into the vehicle when the driver was able to speed away. This certainly could not be a human, but a mummy that may have gotten possessed by a supernatural entity. Ghost attempts to hide. Either this ghost dozed off into the water or it was attempting to hide itself. A trail camera planted on a bridge next to a haunted house captured footage of a ghost that tripped into a small stream. The camera was placed in the area to investigate the cause of disturbance in the area in the dead of night. After reviewing the footage, many believe that this would rather be a cause of a young woman being possessed by a ghost. Flying humanoid. If the furry humanoids weren't spooky enough, you now have one that can fly. Two young boys, while playing in the backyard of a farm in Kent, United Kingdom, noticed a weird-looking hive. With their father filming the video, they got closer to the hive when a flying bug came out of the hive. At first, it was thought to be a firefly or a dragonfly, but seconds later they could notice that this bug is humanoid. From arms to legs, it had a body structure completely similar to that of a human with wings to fly. As it came flying out, the father and the kids reacted by fleeing away. Since the footage has gone viral, many call it a real-life fairy. Forest zombie. This looks to be either a zombie or a clown, or perhaps both. After numerous reports of something haunting a small part of a forest in Ontario, Canada, paranormal investigators decided to investigate. After several hours of searching, they weren't able to find any ghosts, but rather a zombified being that was stalking them from a distance. Upon one of the paranormal investigators spotting this haunting figure, it quickly escaped behind the tree and into the darkness. It had sparkly eyes, clown-like makeup, sharp reflexes, and not to mention huge in size. Imagine the horror of such a nightmare ambushing you. Jungle highway crawler. Choosing a highway to crawler in the middle of a forest is probably the worst place to be around for creeping onto someone. Only a few days ago, a transport driver, while passing through the dense Valdivian temperate rainforest road, came across a naked-looking crawler in the middle of the road. It looked to be quite skinny as a frame of moving skeleton with a very bleak face and hair, although it remained mostly stationary. But according to the driver, it was too eager to get closer. The driver, who turned around for alternate route out of fear of his safety, was criticized by many for not helping a possible man in distress. Sword hand skeleton. Something as scary as this surely redefines the notion of haunting spirits in graveyards. With the appearance of a sharp footstep-like trail all around the cemetery, gravediggers decided to place a trail camera, hoping to find some answers. To their surprise, a disturbing-looking rake being was caught on camera as it was passing by the graves using its sword-like limbs to move. Its body was merely a dark shade of skeleton. While many consider it a rogue ghost, some call it to be a case of reincarnation or a dead man walking. Humpy ghost. It's probably the hump that may have gotten it not so mobile. A group of friends who were lighting up firecrackers to celebrate the 4th of July when they were interrupted by a high-pitched guttural cry. Curious for answers, they decided to investigate the noise. While passing through the trees, they were abruptly stopped after spotting what looks to be a weird, humpy entity in the dark. Since the idea of getting closer for identification wasn't an option, they decided to lobby a flying firecracker in its direction before running away.
Get the hell out of here.
Many take it to be a case of a drugged-up human, but whatever it was surely is a terrifying sight to behold. Dark furry monster. This particular dark furry monster may initially seem like a man wearing a Halloween costume until you look closely at its eyes. Two explorers, while passing through the forest of northern Iran, spotted an eerie hiding behind the bushes. Due to the pitch darkness of the night, they were forced to get closer to it to investigate. While preaching religious chants, they were to get close, but still could barely see it. It had a dirty fur-like coat with incredibly white eyes that were visible. Due to lack of light and fear of the unknown, they weren't able to get a good look at it despite being spitting distance away from it. Tall, furry humanoid. The bigger and furrier it is, the more concerning it gets. After dozens of reports of a tall, furry, human-like figure being noticed in a woods near Winnipeg, a former canine expert was hired by wildlife experts to find and investigate. The canine tracker, after hours of attempting to find the rumored humanoid, was about to call it a day until the notorious being made a sudden appearance as it passed by the tree. The tracker attempted to get a closer look at it, but his dog refused to join into the pursuit, creating a moment of confusion that aided in the humanoid's escape. Fortunately, a camera was installed on the dog harness, which captured the first ever glimpse of this rumored being. Slender Man. In 2018, two friends and a little girl were traveling across states when they bumped into an abnormality, tall and suspicious-looking man referred to as the Slender Man. The Slender Man appeared in the middle of them, making the driver turn off-road and into the grass before stopping. Seconds later, the camera blacked out and started recording once again, showing the Slender Man walking in the woods with the little girl. One of the two friends went missing, while the other was able to find the little girl with a note left behind probably by the Slender Man. Till date, authorities haven't been able to figure out who or where this tall being came from. Creepy cryptid encounter. Is this a bird of some kind or just a horribly looking rodent? While out for an adventure, a tourist encountered a creepy looking animal that was hiding behind a dried up tree trunk in the Appalachian Mountains of North America. Its face looked as if it were deformed with something like a beak on the face. The intentions of this animal were unclear, as it never moved much besides keeping the eyes locked onto the recorder. With the behavior as such, the tourist described it to be an unrecognizable animal that was later pronounced to be a cryptid. Skinwalker attack in woods.
Oh.
If you hear an unsettling humming sound, it's probably for the best to stand clear of it. A man, while driving on the outskirts of Montana, stopped for a cigarette break when he heard a very unsettling humming sound all of a sudden. Out of curiosity, the man entered the woods to find the source of the sound when a skinny, fast-moving skinwalker appeared from nowhere in pursuit of the man, almost as if it were a predator. What happened next remains a mystery. However, the fact that this video made it to the internet shows that the man who recorded the footage may have survived. Alien Scout. The appearance of the UFOs and alien sightings such as these are surely not a mere coincidence. A couple, along with their neighbors, were camping nearby the Big Bear Lake in California when a tiny possum-like being made a sudden appearance, catching them all by surprise. According to the witnesses, it had a physical appearance similar to that of a fictional character, Dobby from the Harry Potter movies, but was a bit too green. As the wildlife experts are trying to make sense of the incident, many debated that this could be an alien scout, especially due to a UFO sighting the previous day. Cryptid caught on camera. Cryptid or not, even they tend to make mistakes and get seen. An explorer, while placing his trail camera in a mountain forest somewhere in the United States, found a mysterious shadowy figure. It was seen curiously peeking out from next to a broad tree trunk and got caught on the camera that was still recording. Although it didn't show any sinister intentions, the cameraman quickly ran away from the area. The fact that the nature of this being is unknown and you never know what it might be capable of, he instinctively decided to run away. The figure remains a complete mystery, despite widespread online exposure. Crooked-faced walker. This is one of those times when something fictional becomes a reality. Residents from a small town in Wisconsin reported numerous appearances of this crooked-faced walker, which has a resemblance to a mythical character called the Spirit Walker. Locals would often wear costumes depicting the walker until it actually started appearing after dark at festivals and community events. So much so that it was locally known as the Spirit of Bizarre. It has a body structure similar to that of a man with extremely long, bony arms, all covered in a suit and a mask. The footage was taken by one of the cameras that was placed to get a closer view at it. Shady Beast. With little to no trees around, the chances of it being a monkey is next to impossible. A footage captured in a woodland area in Nebraska shows a troubled-looking individual that was spotted by passerby as it appeared out from behind the grass. The author of the video at first thought it to be a monkey in distress or an animal of some kind, until it got closer and up on its hind, revealing its terrifying face as it began chasing. The recorder described it to have a beastly appearance, which, after video getting viral, was later nicknamed as the Shady Beast. Catching birds for dinner. A simple fact that gorillas are not known to hunt birds is enough to say that this isn't something normal. A video recorded in March 2016 by a fisherman who was returning from a catch shows a huge furry animal on top of a pole. This furry animal was attempting to catch seagulls flying nearby. Upon capturing one of them, it started bashing the seagull aggressively on the pole, presenting its incredible strength, and started eating minutes later. As it was able to climb tall, narrow poles easily, many speculated that it could be a gorilla, but honestly, it seems like a really hungry Bigfoot. Groot-like creature. If Groot has an evil twin, this probably has to be it. A Virginia family of 3 went out for trekking in the nearby forest where they noticed a tall, dark man-like tree that also happened to be staring at them. The parents commented that they felt like being followed by an unknown stalker hours after entering the forest. Coincidentally, they happened to notice the same tree, despite moving for several hours, which raised their suspicion. Interestingly, the tree creature didn't seem to have any footsteps left behind and remained stationary until it was seen moving slowly. Could it be that a tree somehow came to life, or is it an outer Earth visitor? Giant Tarzan. A sighting such as this is probably a dream come true for all the Tarzan fans. A construction worker in Minnesota, while on a break, saw that this very tall man, who was caught by the magnificence of modern construction, it looked almost naked, covered only by a dark piece of clothing with a height twice to that of an average person. As one of the construction workers riding on his bicycle passed by that point, this real-life Tarzan suddenly disappeared. Since the footage was taken from quite a distance, the tall man wasn't identified properly. Caned Ghost Yoda. Facing off a pissed Yoda is more dangerous than all other scary creatures in the dark. A cowboy on a horse was passing through woods while looking at some missing cattle, bumped into a tiny being having similarity to that of a Yoda from Star Wars. This Yoda, resembling a ghost, was running towards the cowboy while aggressively stabbing its sharp cane on the ground. It began to gain pace upon closing in, and due to the fear of the unknown, the man responded by fleeing. While the actual intentions of the caned ghost Yoda may remain a mystery, it definitely couldn't be any good. Aggressive Yeti. What could be scarier than being killed by a Yeti? It's having one to trip and fall onto you. In January 2021, two friends out on a 3-day hiking adventure came across some way scarier than your typical wild animal, a Yeti. The Yeti appeared out of nowhere and started inspecting their backpacks when they returned back to their base camp with firewood. During the unwarranted inspection, the Yeti unknowingly pepper sprayed itself in the eyes and began to panic aggressively. It got so aggressive that it nearly fell on the hikers before stumbling down the hilly terrain. Bigfoot with glowing eyes. Maybe this Bigfoot was just showing off its sparkling eyes. A TikToker, while out in the Canadian woods for a video, had a close call with this giant gorilla-like creature with exceptionally bright eyes. At first, it was thought of being some gorilla, until after it came closer while passing by. Being caught in fear and confusion, he decided to film the incident. To get answers, the video was uploaded on social media, where many called it a Bigfoot, and that this might be the closest ever encounter with one of them. The TikToker definitely was fortunate enough that the Bigfoot didn't display any predatory behavior. Naked man. A hunter, while passing past a forest nearby Tomorrow World area, when he heard someone calling at him for help. Upon looking down, he noticed a man with not a stitch of clothing on him standing by the creek along with a walking cane. While maintaining distance, the naked man claimed that he had been robbed, beaten up, and stripped of all clothing by bullies during the music festival before being dropped in the woods. After days of trying to survive, he decided to stick next to the creek. The hunter managed to get a number of the naked man's next of kin to get in touch so they could come and get him. This picture was captured by a lost traveler who was passing through a forest in New Zealand on June 10, 2021. The traveler, while stopping to rest for the night, was disturbed by a terrifying zombie-like cry not too far from his location. In hopes to offer help, he called closer to the source of the sound, only to find its point of origin from something that looked unlike any known human. Seconds after the encounter, the traveler immediately decided to flee for his life. After several minutes of running away, the recorder hid himself under a tree bark and decided to remain stationary till dawn, leaving having this picture, the only clear view of this being. Paranormal creature climbing. Something so dark and tiny as this rules out the possibility of it being a burglar. A security camera placed opposite to a villa in a rural area of Karnataka, India, shows a black child-sized creature that crawls next to the villa until it starts climbing up. Locals believe it to be the spirit of a young child that once lived in the house to be returning, while others believe it to be a djinn. Whatever this may have been, it was surely sneaky enough to get past the guard that was sleeping in a chair facing right in front of this paranormal being. Dead alienoid. Alien or not, death surely doesn't spare anyone. Texas farmers who had lost several of their chickens due to numerous animal attacks decided to lay down a bait to draw out the animal. Upon doing so, they noticed a very unusual looking animal in the fields who took the bait in a manner similar to the attack on the chickens. One of the farmers, either pissed or terrified of this alienoid, fired at it, but it managed to escape. After following the bloody trail closely, the alien animal was later found dead next to a tiny bush after having bled out due to the critical wound.
See him above there, by the trees.
With the proliferation of cameras just about everywhere, more and more weird stuff is captured by the camera's all-seeing lens. From freaky, wild creatures of dark nights to the oddly mythical figures of woods, while others are totally unbelievable. Here's the most disturbing trail cam footage that no one was supposed to see. Disappearing man. Imagine installing a camera to capture some wild moments on a snowy night, but you come across this. A bizarre hunched-over figure with glowing eyes suddenly emerged from the dark and could be seen running to the left side of the ground, and then disappeared instantly. Nowhere. It might have merged into thin air. Was it really a ghoul captured running at midnight, or was it just a hoax? To me, there was something really mysterious, as the dog sitting in the corner could be noticed turning its head in the direction of the running figure. What do you guys think? Extraterrestrial creature. Deer, coyotes, or naughty raccoons. This is all that you expect to see in your trail cam footage. But a trail cam installed in the woods of Australia captured something absolutely terrifying. From behind one of the trees appeared some mysterious lights. However, the zoomed-in footage displayed the mystifying lights were actually the eyes of an odd-shaped creature that was trying to peek directly into the camera. At first, it might look like a kid in a costume, but the weird glowing eyes didn't seem like a humanoid trait. Then, was that something really that we should call an extraterrestrial, or just another unidentified creature? Share your thoughts by commenting below. Monster stalking a moose. This video, posted in August 2018, sent cold chills among internet users, as it displays a strange creature peeking from behind one of the trees in the middle of a haunted forest. The resource person of this clip claimed to witness this monstrous creature many times before that, and called it a rake because it has a human-like appearance and usually attacks people walking alone in the woods. But this time, it looks like the spooky, pale creature has targeted the huge moose as it was filmed stalking the animal that was busy grazing in that haunted forest. Masked man. The hunters set their cameras to get information about animals they can hunt. However, sometimes their search for a new species could end up in an unexplainable fear. A trail cam footage posted a few months back shows a strange figure coming out of the dense forest. It is really hard to state what that creature might be, but as it walked eerily with its bent legs, and also the face was covered with a strange mask, some people thought it could be a publicity stunt. But everything about this image is terrifying, as we have no idea where this figure came from or why he was wandering on his knees at midnight. Bigfoot under the nest. In September 2016, a trail cam installed somewhere in the woods of Michigan State to film tiny eaglets captured something really spooky. Initially, all went well, as the camera placed right above the nest was filming the adorable bird moments. Then, suddenly, from behind one of the trees below the nest, appeared a black bipedal creature that walked away. However, due to the blurred image, it's hard to identify the creature, but many people stated that it was a Bigfoot, as nothing huge and bulky was ever spotted in that area before. Do you guys also think it was a Bigfoot? Please let us know by commenting below. Peeking alien. Watching this clip will surely prevent you from planning late-night camping, especially in the middle of the spooky forest. While burning a fire to keep the wild critters away from their tents, a group of friends heard some mysterious noise in the dark. Thinking of any forest resident, one of the guys tossed the fire in front of the tree, yet he was not expecting to come across this. A tiny, gray cryptid with pointed fingers was trying to get warmth while hiding behind the tree, and quickly moved back as the man filming it tried to get a closer look. Unfortunately, nothing could be stated exactly about the figure, but to me, it looked like an alien. Weird man in the forest. Let me show you another disturbing clip of the day, as it involves a couple of friends who stumbled upon something really spooky while walking in the forest at night. Standing alone in the middle of the path was a strange guy in white who started to communicate with them.
Ryan?
Is that you?
Is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Prove it?
Prove it?
Yeah, prove it.
Thinking of their lost friend, when one of the guys asked that boy to prove his identity, he suddenly changed his shape and voice and vanished back into the dark, just like a creepy ghoul.
I don't know where this thing is, or when it's gonna...
Although one of the guys tried to chase him, they couldn't get any other clue. And since that time, the truth behind the creepy guy has become an unsolved mystery. Unknown beast in the backyard. Filmed at an unknown location, the camera captured a bizarre figure peeking from behind the wall on the side of the pool. Initially, it looked like a man trying to get inside, but when the footage was zoomed in, it started looking less like a human. In fact, the way it looked around and managed to jump back didn't seem human at all. Many claimed it could be a midnight ghost, while others simply stated that it was nothing but a bear. Well, if any of you know better, do write us in the comments section. Humo crab. While enjoying the bonfire in the middle of the thick woods, a group of friends got the biggest shock of their life when they decided to look for the girl who went away to make a call. Searching around for the girl, they were stunned to find her lying numb in front of a tree, and then suddenly, from behind one of the bushes, a creepy creature jumped out. With multiple limbs attached to a human body, that unidentified being seemed to be a human crab-type creature. Although this clip stopped without any proper ending, these few terrifying minutes are enough to make you think twice the next time you set up a plan for camping. Bigfoot encounter. It's okay to find animals in the woods, but it's definitely not okay to find monstrous creatures right in front of the camera. While chasing a deer to get a closer look, another couple of campers were shocked to find a huge beast behind the trees. At first, they took it as a bear, but it was all until the dark creature stood up. With its dark body and giant features, it looked right at them and tried to get close. Fortunately, they both managed to escape, leaving their tent, in fact, everything, behind. Many speculated it to be a huge bear, but according to those guys, it was an actual Bigfoot. Cryptic being. According to an old saying, forests are actually haunted by werewolves and witches that come out at night. But this time, it looks like one of the evil spirits has decided to make an appearance in daytime. Filmed at an unknown location, this video shows a car being driven in the middle of a forest, and suddenly, the driver noticed a strange, small creature standing on the roadside. Apparently, it looked like a small animal, but upon getting closer, it turned out to be a short, faceless figure who was busy in some kind of sinister activity, but suddenly ran back after watching a car approaching it. Is it really a cryptic being, or just a hoax? Any ideas? Sasquatch spotted in Russia. This short clip of just 16 seconds includes the craziest moment no one could have ever seen. Recorded by an unknown source somewhere in Russia in 2011, this clip shows a closer look of the most discussed mythical beast. A huge, hairy body and long arms. It really looked like a real Sasquatch. No more details could be stated about the creature, as the guy filming it seemed to be scared of the thing. Yet the perfect humanoid walk pointed toward the legendary Sasquatch, as it could be seen quickly walking through the woods after realizing it was being filmed. Unidentified hairy monster. Exploring the woods to learn more about the forest, two young students felt some movements behind the trees. Looking deeper into the bushes, they came across an unidentified creature that initially looked like a wild critter that was hiding beneath the woods, yet suddenly stood up and stared at the curious visitors. Terrifying is all that can be said about this footage, because nothing much could be explained about the creature, as they had to escape hurriedly after watching the beast heading toward them. Eerie giant figure. Humanoid walk, giant body, and long, heavy arms. Another legendary creature of all time was filmed strolling fearlessly on snowy ground. The video, after being posted, grabbed a lot of attention from internet users, as many took it as an alleged Sasquatch sighting. But since the video wasn't very clear, a few claimed it was actually a guy struggling to hike on the hill covered with snow, and was misunderstood for his strange walk. Really a Sasquatch, or just a misunderstanding? Any guesses from your side? Spooky werewolf. Have you ever been into the woods alone? Well, if not, then you must hold your breath, as this short clip will definitely stop you from doing so. Filmed at an undisclosed location, this footage shows a guy trying to get close to an animal to whom he thought was a grizzly bear. Right at that moment, the beast started running toward him, and the video suddenly ended there, leaving everyone questioning about the beast. There is a possibility of a werewolf sighting, as upon looking at the huge appearance, the creature didn't seem like a bear to me. Creepy skinwalker. It's not always Bigfoot lurking from behind one of the trees, but sometimes there are many other odd beings waiting for us. A couple, while driving in the middle of a forest, decided to stop their car to investigate the animal making weird noises. However, they were left baffled after watching this. From behind one of the bushes, a creepy figure emerged and crossed the bushy path by crawling on its bent legs. Although it was not visible due to the dark, due to its pale, skinny body, it was assumed to be a skinwalker that mostly came out at night to spook the passerby. Mysterious black shadow. Almost a decade back in April, a man filming his own horror movie set up a prop ritual circle in Tennessee's woods. The next day, after returning back to that place, he found a mysterious dark figure standing exactly at that spot. At first, he thought it was some kind of an illusion, but suddenly, the figure that appeared to have a head and body moved slightly back and forth. He just filmed the peculiar shape from a distance and decided to leave as he was scared of the unknown figure. For some, it was a person with a costume on, while others just debunked it by calling it a fallen tree that resembled a human body. If any of you know more details about it, please let us know. Rake crawling in woods. A bizarre trail cam footage quickly went viral as it claimed to show an eerie figure in the middle of the woods. Recorded somewhere in an unrevealed place, the video took a normal start, but then the actual oddity entered the frame from the left side. Crawling on all its fours was an eerie creature that could be seen rambling through the woods, just like a huge, bulky animal. However, the way it stopped and looked around didn't match any animal's traits. Since the footage was recorded from a distance, it's hard to say exactly what could be the creature, but many are speculating it to be the horrific, urban, legendary Rake. Frozen in park. A lady standing still in front of a tree, and another group of people froze while staring oddly. This is not any clip from a sci-fi movie, but this bizarre moment was actually recorded in September 2019 by a family while they were heading toward Niagara Falls. Not just one or two, but a large number of people were spotted standing still around all over the place. What's weirder, more than half were old-aged. With a heart filled with fear, the family left shortly, so nothing more could be stated about it. A glitch in the Matrix, an MK Ultra, or just some kind of publicity stunt to gain fame. I'm not too sure what was actually going on here. Soul left wild boar. This footage might be the rarest one, as it literally shows the most unbelievable and disturbing moment ever recorded. It started with a wild boar strolling normally, and this is exactly what trail cams are meant to record. But within a few seconds, the whole scene changed as the animal falls on the ground and struggled hard to stand back up. And all of a sudden, its body started shivering, and it could be seen shaking its legs, followed by a plume of black smoke that mysteriously arose from its body. And then it became still, although it could be noticed trying to breathe. According to the owner of this footage, the animal was found dead in its place. Headless moose. Another disturbing piece of footage shows a strange animal that was not only weird and frightening, but also very fast. Near a railway track in the middle of the wilderness, a guy was scared to death after watching a strange moose running wildly without any head on its huge body. Since the video is quite blurry, it's difficult to say whether it was an actual headless animal or just a moose running with its head to one side. Many think it's just an edited clip, while others claim it to be an actual headless moose that was running away from its hunters. What do you guys believe? Arrow stuck in deer's head. Survival of an impaired one in the wilderness is actually very challenging. Yet this next clip shows an unfazed deer with an arrow sticking out of its head that was observed doing really well for more than 3 years. The deer was named Carrot after it was spotted lurking in the backyard of a house in Canada and was believed to be a miraculous survivor. Fortunately, the distressing clips of the poor animal hit the internet, and it was soon rescued by wildlife authorities. Two-headed deer.
Two-headed deer.
Have we got you puzzled? At first, I also got confused after watching this bizarre two-headed deer. Look how perfectly both of the heads moved in the same direction. Was this actually a two-headed deer, or just another manipulated clip? Well, after watching this clip more carefully, I reached to a conclusion that those were actually two animals standing in a typical posture, which made them look like one animal with two heads. As the video proceeded, one of the heads could be seen mystically disappearing from the scene, leaving just one complete deer behind. What do you guys say? Deer with a crooked neck. Here we have another strange deer, but this time it was not any optical illusion. But in fact, this deer was actually spotted in an awkward situation, as its head was hanging bizarrely to one side. Though it was observed perfectly walking through the dense bushes, it was unable to lift its head or to move it around. Biologists suspected that it might have broken its spine at a very young age, but somehow managed to survive with its major disability, and was spotted strolling several times in St. Mary's. People called it a crooked-necked deer that was also believed to be a mother of cute little fawns. Living mammoth. Show me something more disturbing than this one. Long, curved tusks, a huge trunk, a fatty hump on a massive woolly body. All these features belong to a living mammoth that was filmed in 1948 in Russia. The great animal from the prehistoric times was actually seen roaming almost 60 years back and was captured during World War II by a German photographer. Although it was quite terrifying to see a living mammoth from the past, many claimed it to be a fake one, while a few are still trying to figure it out. Attacked by wolves. This trail cam footage opens with an adorable moose mother wandering around along with its young calf. Initially, all went well, as the mother moose could be seen protecting its young calf from the wolf. But then suddenly, the video took a horrific turn when the mother turned back and, instead of the wolf, it accidentally kicked its calf in the head. Seeing the calf on the ground, another hungry wolf jumped in to get a bite of the fallen prey. Yet the moose mother kept on protecting its calf from the attacking wolves. However, it's impossible to say whether she was able to protect her young ones or not, as all of the animals went out of sight. Man stalked by lion. Encountering something like this in the woods is definitely a disturbing thing you'll never want to experience. The guy in the image looked excited as he could be seen enjoying his hunt of the day, a giant deer. And behind him is a ferocious predator that was captured stalking the hunter. Unfortunately, we could only get this single image, and I'm not sure if the lion was actually waiting for the deer, or its real target was the hunter. However, later this guy posted another video in which the same lion was observed chasing. This terrifying image was captured by a trail camera, showing a creepy humanoid creature climbing a tree with all 4 of its limbs. The exact location of this image is unknown, but some people claimed it to be captured from the deep Amazon forest, where this guy is believed to be the last remaining member of an isolated tribe in the Brazilian Amazon, and is known as the Man of the Hole. However, according to some, this was actually an ape-like creature that was seen hanging on the trees during the Darrow expedition in 1977. Well, if any of you knows more about it, please let us know by commenting below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again